An arrow tore through the carriage curtain and buried itself in the wood, a hair's breadth from Annette's cheek. Out of the rain, a massive one-horned beast came straight at her. Cliff at her back, mud underfoot, and a ring of yellow eyes closing in. No sword, no comrades, only a left arm ruined in her final battle. Annette bound the wound on her hand and smiled faintly. Then today, I break my own rule and fight barehanded. Hours earlier. The sky above the beast swamp began to roll with thunder. Lightning came down and split the night open. The horse balked in the middle of the road. Randall yanked the reins. "Curse it! What is wrong with this animal?" The brown-haired attendant spoke softly. "My lord, let us rest a moment. We have ridden all day, and the sky looks wrong." Randall snapped at him. "Fool, this is the beast swamp. Do you want to be torn apart?" He hissed through his teeth, as if the heavens themselves were cursing that useless seed of a beast. The attendant lowered his voice. "My lord, what if the princess hears?" Randall shrugged. "And where am I wrong?" Inside the carriage, Annette had heard every word. Seed of a beast, he is not entirely wrong. Annette Harwood, Princess of the Kingdom of Harwood. This swamp is the border between the Empire of Aiken to the south and the Empire of Binder to the north. The blood of the beasts that live here is a violent poison to human beings. Anyone it touches, if not purified at a temple, either dies or is twisted until nothing human remains. For generations, the beasts have been the terror of the whole continent. And I was born with red eyes, the same red as theirs. They call me the seed of a beast, and not one day of my life have they called me a princess. They shut me in a shabby room and waited for me to die. I took up the sword only to survive. Then a wound in my last battle forced me to set down the blade that had been with me half my life. Now they are selling me in a political marriage. I would rather die than be given to a monster like that. The Kingdom of Harwood. Esther, Queen of Harwood, coaxed her daughter gently. "Bridget, think it over. This is not as bad as it sounds." Bridget wailed, "I will not. They say his face is horrifying." "How am I to spend my life with a monster?" Bridget Harwood, Annette's half-sister. Euston Harwood, the king, held his head while the two of them argued. A servant announced her. "Your Majesty, Princess Annette has arrived." She stepped in and bowed. "Annette Harwood, at your service." He cut her off. "Spare me the pleasantries, I will be blunt. The Empire of Aiken has proposed an alliance." Annette's face darkened. "Aiken is powerful, and yet they offer first. Since I left command of the knights, Harwood's strength has visibly withered. This is a golden opportunity." Euston went on, "Useless as you are, even you must understand what this means. With Aiken behind us, we can hold off Bender. So, Annette, you will be given to Archduke Hazen." She went still. "Me, not Bridget?" Esther's lips curled. "Besides, Princess Annette is convalescing. Rather than live off us, would she not do better as a pillar for the kingdom?" So that was it. Now Annette understood why people who had never spared her a glance had gone to the trouble of summoning her. Archduke Carden Hazen, second heir of Aiken, a hero who had never lost a battle. And yet, the blood of the beasts had taken his face. No one had ever seen it. It lived behind a mask. This was an alliance marriage with Aiken. Ambitious as she was, Esther would have wanted Bridget to have it. But once she heard the groom was the disfigured Archduke, Bridget would have flown into a rage. Annette asked again, "Is this an order?" He turned it back on her. "Do you imagine I am asking your opinion?" Esther spread her fan. "Your Majesty, do not be cruel. Perhaps Aiken will come to cherish the princess." Bridget cut in all innocence, "But the letter clearly asks for a princess of noble blood, does it not?" "Anyone can see you fall well short of the word noble, sister. You are little better than a beast." Annette answered, "I will do as you say." Back to the present. The thunder had died and the sky had gone quiet. Inside the carriage, she tightened her hands. "It has come to this, so the alliance must hold. Whatever the Archduke thinks of me, Harwood comes first." Outside, Randell was shouting, "What was that?" The noise came from the princess's carriage. Annette steadied herself fast. Red shaft, broad fletching, a Bender arrow. An ambush from Bender? This journey to Aachen was a secret. How could they? A scream came from outside. "Beasts. The beasts are here." She snapped toward the window. Annette turned. Killing intent was pouring in from behind her. Randall shrieked as the pack closed in. "Keep away from me." The brown-haired attendant had already been torn apart. He backed into a corner, shaking. "Do you know who I am? I am a Marquis of Harwood. Somebody save me." Two beasts lunged at Randall at once. Annette threw herself in front of him. Stay behind me. We do not know how many there are, so keep close. Randall chose to run. When Annette turned, all she saw was his back disappearing into the rain. Grade 2 beasts and higher, in the trees, on the cliffs, 30 at the very least. The rain came down hard. She dragged herself forward, head swimming. A beast swamp, yes. But this many, all at once, as if they were aimed at me. I wonder if Randall and the others made it back to Harwood. It is so hot. My body feels like it is burning. The blood of the beasts? A guard on the wall started. Who goes there? Ahead stood the wall of the Empire of Aiken. Halt and state your name. She was gasping as she pulled a sheet of paper from inside her coat. Give this to His Majesty the Emperor. I come from. Before she could finish, she collapsed. The next morning, warm light fell through the window into the bedchamber. Annette opened her eyes. Where is this? The Imperial Palace of Aiken? If I am lying here, then the Emperor and Empress have approved the betrothal. She spoke, and the voice was not a grown woman's. Why do I sound like this? What is this body? 24 years earlier, the kingdom of Harwood. Euston held the newborn with shaking hands. How could the queen bear a child of the beasts? The house of Harwood has borne silver hair for generations, and yet a red-haired princess was born. With eyes as red as a beast's, he looked up. How is the queen? A servant knelt. Forgive me, your majesty. The queen has... The kind and beautiful queen died the moment the child was born. The king refused to acknowledge the infant as his own and turned his back on her. Euston drowned himself in wine, a curse. This is the omen of our house's ruin. The hair alone would be one thing, but those red eyes. Is she truly a child of the beasts? When did the queen ever go near them? The queen was laid to rest. The red-haired princess was born, and the king drank himself through his days and abandoned the affairs of state. Esther, once a handmaid to the late queen, chose that moment to come to him. Your Majesty, your grief must be unbearable. Then she became queen, and every trace of the woman before her was erased, including the king's own daughter. A black-haired young man entered. His Majesty has ordered Prince Frank's chambers vacated. Sarah held the infant close. If not his own room, then where is the prince to go? His health is frail. Moving him in this cold could cost him his life. Frank Harwood, eldest son of the late queen. He held out a hand. Do not worry, we shall care for His Highness with all diligence. Frank went with him obediently, turning back only once. Sarah, I am well. The baby is far weaker than I am. Please look after my sister. Sarah watched him go. Your Highness. The man spoke again. As for that child of the beasts, His Majesty orders her confined to the outer palace. Hand her over. Sarah pulled the infant tighter. I will care for the princess. Do not lay a hand on her. And so she and the red-haired princess moved into the outer palace. There, amid contempt and mockery, 6 years passed. Sarah leaned over the bed. Are you still awake, princess? Annette whispered. Nurse, do you know? The maids outside call me the seed of a beast. If I truly am of their blood, what if I hurt someone? Sarah took her hand. No, princess, that is not so. Forget those words. You were born to find happiness, so however hard or painful it becomes, you must stand firm. But the princess had only just turned 7 when her nurse passed. It was no grave illness, only a chill from a shortage of firewood. The chill became pneumonia. Not one dose of medicine came. She was gone. The year she turned 14, Euston glared when he saw her. You dare set foot in here? Better to stand and die than to rot in the outer palace. That was what the Red Princess chose. She clenched her teeth and knelt. I greet the great son of Harwood. Grant me leave to join the beast subjugation. He looked at her with open disgust. It crawls out of the place we left it to die, only to beg for a hunt. Just as well. Better it dies in a beast's jaws than eats at my table. Everyone was certain a girl with no training would not come back. She came back unharmed. Uncommon strength, a will that would not break, endurance that would not run out, and decisions made in the space of a heartbeat. They called her the greatest swordswoman on the continent, the one cursed by the very beasts she killed. Annette returned to the present. That is who I am. Then what is this? These tiny hands. This soft skin. And yet the grip is unchanged. What on earth has happened to me? A voice rang out behind her. Oh, you are awake. She spun around. Who is there? Charlotte knelt to her eye level. Lady Harwood, you are awake. They told us it would be far longer. Tuxius dropped to one knee. We must send for the physician at once. The imperial physician. Then these two are. Annette bowed at once. Annette Harwood, greeting His Majesty the Emperor and Her Majesty the Empress of Aiken. Tuxius Aiken, Emperor of the Empire of Aiken, did not know what to do with the gesture. Charlotte Aiken, the Empress, hurried to lift her up. Goodness, please stand. Your body is not well. There is no need for that. Tuxius looked away. So it truly is Lady Harwood. I guessed from the bearing, but you look exactly like a child. So that is it. In their eyes, I am a child. This could break the alliance. Charlotte spoke up. Lady Harwood, can you tell us what happened? A while later, Annette was given fresh clothes. She turned once before the mirror. I have never worn anything like this. Even Bridget's gowns were never so fine. But Aiken has no princess. Where would they find a garment this splendid for a child? A dark-haired attendant led her along. Princess, we have reached the dining hall. Annette blinked. The dining hall? Not an audience? Before her lay a banquet. Annette could not look away. Dishes I have never seen in my life. Tuxius was waiting. I thought you had not eaten properly since you arrived, so I brought you here instead of the audience chamber. Charlotte smiled. We did not know your tastes, so we prepared a little of everything. Please help yourself. Annette surveyed the table. Everything looks wonderful. Where do I even begin? The soup first, I suppose. Through all those hunting seasons, the only soup I knew was boiled roots. I wonder how bitter this one is. Oh, I never knew anything could taste like this. Warm and smooth, sliding down my throat and reaching all the way to my heart. Charlotte asked, Is it good? Annette set down her fork. Yes, extraordinarily good. She cleared her plate. Thank you both for your kindness. Charlotte turned the conversation. By the way, has Archduke Hazen been informed? Tuxius nodded, the moment we confirmed who she was. Annette watched them quietly. I wonder how the Archduke will take it. Tuxius sighed. Unfortunately, he is commanding a subjugation campaign. Who would have thought Harwood would send the princess herself to carry the betrothal letter? Word has gone to his estate, but it will be some time before he reaches the capital. She gripped her skirt. I see. An excuse. Even a betrothed husband would flinch at meeting a seed of the beasts. Charlotte said, Please do not worry. The moment he hears, he will come. Annette answered, I am quite all right, Your Majesty. In truth, in this state, I could hardly face him anyway. While we are speaking of it, may I ask, is this truly the form I was found in? Tuxius nodded. The guards reported a child collapsing after handing over a sealed letter bearing the royal crest. Without that letter and that red hair, we would never have known it was you. Princess, can you tell us what happened on the road to the palace? Annette drew a breath. Of course, but first, there is something I must report. Your Majesty, forgive me, but I fear someone within Harwood is in league with Bender, she told them. Before the beasts came, an arrow had struck the carriage. A red Bender arrow. There is no mistaking it. I had no weapon, so I used that arrow against them. Aiken did not know the delegation was on the road. That means the only place Bender could have learned it was Harwood. She finished, then thought, they will hold Harwood responsible. They may even declare the alliance broken. How am I to turn this around? Tuxius asked. So you are saying Harwood's own men abandoned the princess and fled? Charlotte stared. You faced a pack of beasts alone with a single arrow? And after that, with your bare hands? Why has the air in the room changed? Annette tried to soothe them. I am fine. That beast was strong enough that even my knight escort could not hold it. Tuxius shook his head. Even so, abandoning one's duty cannot be overlooked. We will send a formal protest to Harwood. And as you say, the information may have leaked, so we will report to Harwood that the princess, though injured, arrived safely. Annette was still uneasy. And the alliance? Tuxius smiled. The marriage contract has not been ratified, but you have signed it. In name, you already belong to the Imperial House of Aiken. Set your mind at rest. Charlotte added, Indeed. Soon we shall be one family. Ease up and let us come to know one another. For now, focus on recovering, understood? Yes, I understand. Charlotte was still smiling. Though, as endings go, this one is not so terrible. Annette looked up. When you fainted, the physician examined you. Apart from a few bruises, there was no injury at all. Only your vitality had thinned. With medicine and rest, you will recover completely. Which also means the old wound in your arm has fully healed. You will be able to hold a sword again. Annette looked down at her hand. Hold a sword again. If word of that reaches Harwood, how will they react? The moment I was wounded, they forced me into discharge as though they had been waiting for it. Hearing my arm has healed, they will call it the curse of the beasts. Never mind, it has nothing to do with me now. Why are the two of them staring at me? Is there something on my face? Charlotte whispered to Tuxius. She looks about 7, does she not? No, she stands as tall as Mikhail. I would say closer to 8. Come now, as small as that, how could she be 8? Then 7 it is. Annette gave up. I can hear you, you know. Then evenly, she said aloud. I had assumed the crown prince was nearly 10. He must be younger than I thought. The two of them turned and looked at her, blank. Tuxius cleared his throat. There is one more thing I meant to give you. I nearly forgot. This is a purification stone. You have taken beast blood, and by rights you should be cleansed at a temple. But in your present state, that is impossible. Annette looked at the stone. The fewer who know my situation, the safer, and I would rather use the stone than set foot in a temple. She remembered. Back in Harwood, every time I went to the temple. The priest looked at me with contempt. The purification stone, a masterwork of Emperor Tuxius, made with the combined labor of the temple and the Tower of Magic. A body fouled by beast blood can be cleansed by it. Which is why knights and mercenaries stop in the Aachen capital to buy one before a hunt. Annette remembered something. Except the Royal Knights of Harwood. She smiled and took it. Thank you. I was captain of the order. They simply did not want the expense. Her fingers touched the stone, and she flinched and drew back. Tuxius spoke. There is no record of any Harwood knight ever purchasing a purification stone. Do you know how to use it? Yes, I was given one as a gift once. Tuxius let out a breath. What a relief. Serena came in. Forgive the interruption. Her Majesty the Dowager Empress invites the new princess to tea. Tuxius turned. You told Mother already? Charlotte faltered. I had no choice. Lady Harwood, I am afraid this afternoon you must come with me to greet Her Majesty the Dowager. But in my condition. She already knows. Do not worry. Then let us return and adjust your dress, and perform the purification as well. Before long, she stood before the Dowager's palace. What if she sees me like this and calls off the marriage? Charlotte glanced over. Is Lady Harwood nervous? A little. Only natural. It is your first meeting with the woman who will be your mother-in-law. Do not be afraid. She is a kind woman. There is nothing to worry about. Annette's face went red. Mother-in-law. I was so busy thinking about the crown prince that I never considered my husband's mother. Well then, shall we go in? Annette came back to herself. One moment. A voice announced them from within. Your Majesty, may we enter? Charlotte led her in. Your Majesty, this is Lady Harwood. My lady, this is the Dowager Empress of Aachen. Annette bowed. Annette, Princess of Harwood, greeting the Dowager Empress of the Empire of Aachen. A silence settled over the whole room. Why has she said nothing? At last the Dowager spoke. I truly have no words. This child is Cardan's betrothed. This is not good. The edge of the beast swamp. Samuel came crashing through the trees. Your Highness? You brought all of them down alone? Clear out a pack this size and they will stay quiet a month, will they not? Cardan did not turn around. Be quiet, Samuel. Do you want to die with them? Samuel corrected himself quickly. I would never dare. That came out wrong. In any case, it seems Princess Annette Harwood has reached the palace. Cardan turned his head slightly. So our princess has finally arrived. Back in the Dowager's palace. The woman seated across from Annette was the Dowager Empress of Aachen. Is every member of the Aachen house this young? The Empress as well. Beside them, I truly am a child. She looked at her without blinking. So you really are Cardan's betrothed? Yes, Your Majesty. She let out a breath. Does Cardan know of this? Charlotte answered at once. I sent word immediately, but the Archduke is on campaign. There is no certainty it reached him. I see. May the message find the boy safely. Annette thought to herself. Archduke Hazen is loved by his whole family. Perhaps he is the fragile treasure of the Aachen house. That is why the emperor made the purification stone with his own hands, for his ailing brother. Fearing he would find no match, the emperor even arranged a political marriage for him. That must be why they treat me well. I am to be his wife. I think I'm a little envious of Archduke Hazen. The dowager cut across her thoughts. What are you thinking about? Annette started. Pardon, what did you say? I said, do not stand there, sit. We shall soon be family, so speak freely. She came back to herself. Yes, of course, thank you. Annette sat down. Now what am I supposed to say? How did it go in the old days? How does one win a woman's favor? The dowager sighed. Well then, let us begin our tea. A maid carried in the tea and cakes. Charlotte's eyes widened. You prepared all this? The dowager was unmoved. Is this not perfectly ordinary? Charlotte picked up a cake. Some of these were not made in the palace. Did you bring them from the capital? She cleared her throat. I did not know her tastes, so I had a variety prepared. I do not know if they suit, but do try them. Annette stared at the spread. Goodness, they are beautiful as works of art. Not one of them have I ever seen before. What do I do now? Simply eat? Ah, yes, Sarah told me once. Grown-ups like to see children eat well. Annette put a piece into her mouth. Fresh cream, strawberry cream, it is wonderful. Charlotte laughed. I am glad it suits Lady Harwood's taste. The dowager must be pleased as well. Annette caught herself. I was so taken with the sweets that I forgot my manners. What if she thinks me greedy? Annette faltered. Your Majesty, I may have eaten a little carelessly. Please try this one, it is genuinely delicious. The dowager gave a sudden cry. Then she collapsed. Charlotte and Annette both rushed forward. Your Majesty. What is wrong? Are you all right? Charlotte cut in. Lady Harwood, you should go inside and rest. Annette blinked, but... Leave Her Majesty to me. Do not worry, go inside. She did not press further. I understand. Annette left the room heavy-hearted. Serena saw her hesitating. Princess, do you need something? Annette turned. Has Her Majesty always been unwell? Serena smiled. That is well. That reaction. She collapsed because of me, did she not? If it is difficult to say, you need not answer. While we speak, my name is Serena. Please talk with me freely, Princess. Then, Serena, is there anywhere nearby where one may walk? There is a garden behind the palace, not far from here. However, only the imperial family may enter. Then I suppose I am not permitted. Not at all. The Empress said the princess is to be treated as a member of the House of Aiken. Truly? Then I shall trouble you. They think of me as family, and yet it feels as though it never occurs to them that I might never return to my own body. As though I am the only one uneasy about this body. Uneasy. Why should I be uneasy? Of course it is the Alliance. No. It is not the Alliance. It is that this place is nothing like Harwood. Serena, she turned. Yes, did you call me, Princess? Are you not afraid to look into my eyes? Serena blinked. Why should I be afraid? I have never seen a color so beautiful in my life. But why do you ask? She looked away quickly. It is nothing. Let us go. Speaking plainly with someone, meeting their eyes, smiling together. Perhaps here I could live without contempt, so long as he does not despise me. At the beast swamp, so the princess has arrived. Samuel drew something from inside his coat. Yes, but there is a problem. The emperor's letter states, on the road to Aachen, the princess appears to have met with trouble. Carden read it, and his voice cooled. I ride straight for the capital, return to the castle, muster the men, then set out. Samuel, with me. What, straight to the capital? Not even a stop at the castle? Carden was calm. With a matter like this, I must reach the palace quickly. I am rather looking forward to meeting the princess. We shall meet soon enough. In the dowager's chambers. Sinful. This is sinful. How can that child be so lovely? Why did you not warn me that Carden's bride was this lovely, Empress? Charlotte laughed. I did not expect Lady Harwood to be so endearing either. At last a girl who will wear the dresses I sew. I shall put her in this one, and this one as well. Charlotte was surprised. You do not seem at all startled by Lady Harwood's condition. Indeed, she was not. There is also the Emperor's power. And above all, Carden. Is the boy sleeping at night? Charlotte nodded. By the way, is the princess not a little thin? A child ought to be a bit round to be truly sweet. Empress, let us take tea again tomorrow after lunch. I shall fatten the girl up. Charlotte smiled. Then I shall arrange tea often. Very well, Your Majesty, by your leave. Serena stepped in. Forgive me, Your Majesty. Charlotte turned. Serena, have you taken Lady Harwood back to her room? The princess wished to walk, so I took her to the rear garden. She was troubled by Her Majesty's collapse. I could not simply send her to her chambers. Charlotte grimaced. I tried so hard not to spoil the first impression, and instead we caused a commotion. Well done, Serena. Then we should go to the garden as well. In the garden, Annette drew a long breath. I thought a walk might clear my head. The Archduke is one matter, but if I mean to keep this betrothal, I must make a good impression on the imperial house. Instead, I have made the dowager faint. Just then, a voice barked out. Who is there? Who dare set foot in a garden reserved for the imperial family? Annette glanced over. That child was on the list I studied before entering the palace. He must be Crown Prince Mikhail. Mikhail Aachen, Crown Prince of the Empire of Aachen, frowned. Why are you standing there? State your name. What do I even say? That I am about to become his aunt? In this state? She managed an answer. Your Highness, I am a foreign guest invited to the Empire. He squinted at her. Your eyes are a strange color. But how did you get in here? That is... Before Annette could finish, Mikhail cut her off. I know, you are taken with me and followed me all the way here. She froze. I beg your pardon? He puffed out his chest. I am sorry, but I cannot return your feelings. My heart already belongs to Audrey. Crown Prince or not, who taught this child to say such things? Charlotte came up behind them. Mikhail, what are you doing here during your etiquette lesson? Mikhail jumped. Mother! Annette, the Crown Prince may have offended you. I apologize on the boy's behalf. She smiled. Not at all. If anything, I should apologize for taking up His Highness's time. He looked blank. Mother, who is this lady? Charlotte glanced at her son. Mikhail, mind your manners. She will soon be a member of our family. Back in her room, Annette was still uneasy. Was it all right to let the Crown Prince go like that? Charlotte was unbothered. Better he be startled later than be rude to you now. I shall explain, and he will understand. By the way, you must have been alarmed when the dowager fainted. Yes, a little surprised. She did not do it because she dislikes you. Quite the opposite, she is fond of you. She said she would send a surprise over tomorrow. Annette folded her hands. I see. Then I am relieved. Actually, there is something I have wanted to ask. Why do you always call me Lady Harwood? Charlotte smiled. Because I am a devoted admirer of yours. Lady Harwood's skill against the beasts is famous across the empire. I have always thought your record extraordinary. When I heard you were coming, I could not sleep. But what of Rubelino, the sword you always carried? Annette went still. You know Rubelino as well? How could I not know the name of the blade that never left your side? She remembered. Ah, Rubelino. I returned it to the crown when I resigned as captain. Charlotte's eyes widened. Rubelino is practically a part of you. Do they not know what a sword means to a knight? To take it away? It is all right. I gave up my knighthood. Charlotte was still indignant. But even so, a sound outside cut her off. Serena came in. My lady, the bath is prepared. Charlotte started. Goodness, is it so late already? You must be worried about Archduke Hazen. He will come the moment he hears of you, so please do not fret. The next morning. You are awake, my lady. Annette rubbed her eyes. Serena, forgive me. Did I sleep terribly late? Serena smiled. What are you saying? It is still early. More importantly, I have news. The Archduke has arrived at the palace. Annette sat up. What? Archduke Hazen is here? Yes. It seems he set out the moment he heard of you and arrived this morning. That is strange. From his lands to the capital takes 2 days at the least. He heard yesterday and is here today? Serena, what sort of man is the Archduke? Serena hesitated. Pardon? What do you mean, my lady? I am simply curious what kind of person he is. Anything will do. His temperament, for instance. Serena grew flustered. Goodness, what do I say? Should I tell the truth? His temperament? Well. In truth, I have little contact with the Archduke, so I could not say. Here, a warm cloth. I have only heard he is very shrewd and very capable. Perhaps once you meet him, you will understand. Annette wiped her face. I suppose. He does not sound like an easy man to be near. The door of the drawing room opened. Tuxius turned. "You are here, Princess Harwood?" Charlotte exclaimed. "Oh my, Lady Harwood, you look lovely." "Thank you. It is thanks to the Dowager's many gifts. It suits you beautifully. Please sit." Dressed like this, perhaps the Archduke will not recoil and think me an ill omen. Annette sat. "Thank you. I thought I was only meeting the Archduke today. Had I known you were waiting, I would have come sooner." Tuxius waved it off. "It is nothing. We only stopped by in case, since it is your first meeting." Out in the corridor there was a commotion. "Archduke Hazen is late. He is not a man who keeps people waiting." Samuel hurried after him. "Not so fast, Your Highness. Archduke Hazen has arrived." Annette turned. That man. Her gaze went straight to Carden. And he was looking at her without blinking. Carden stared down. Is she even human? Annette shivered under that dark gaze. Tuxius said, "Carden, you, a doll, not a person." Carden sank to one knee. No human being could possibly be this lovely. She has the charm of a doll. "If you would permit it, Princess, may I hold your hand?" 1 hour earlier, Samuel looked pained. "Your Highness, do you know how many hours you have stood before that mirror?" Carden did not look away from it. "Samuel, which suits me better? This one or this one?" Samuel sighed. "Both suit you perfectly. Since returning, he has stood at that mirror for hours." "Your Highness, it is time." He shot him a look. "Are you bored, Samuel?" "No, of course not." "Then look properly." "Do I seem strange today? Do I look presentable?" Samuel raised a thumb. "You radiate an elegance that borders on excessive." Carden frowned. "What if she is afraid of me? This is our first meeting. Should I choose a lighter color?" Samuel gave up. "But she is the greatest swordswoman on the continent." "Who can say? In any case, she is a child at present. And even if she were not, I want to look gentle and considerate." Samuel held out the clock. Your Highness, we are past the hour." Carden started. "What? It is that late already? Why did you not say so sooner?" What a useless retainer. We were to be in the drawing room at 1. Samuel ran after him. "I did tell you the time." Annette blinked, then nodded. "Very well. So this is the warmonger. The butcher, Carden Hazen?" Tuxius rubbed his forehead. "The boy has finally lost his mind. I knew he would put on a performance, but I did not expect him to make a fool of himself." Tuxius cleared his throat. "Your timing is excellent." Only then did Carden turn. "Why are you here?" Tuxius smiled thinly. "Naturally. The two who will lead the alliance between Aiken and Harwood are meeting for the first time. I must be present." Carden stood. "I was not aware of that. But I wish to speak privately with the person I shall spend the rest of my life beside. I would be grateful if your Majesty withdrew first." "The rest of my life." Tuxius's voice hardened. "Archduke Hazen, you seem to have forgotten who stands before you?" Carden was unmoved. "How could I forget, brother?" "Ah, forgive me, your Majesty. Why do you look at me that way?" Charlotte understood. "Perhaps it truly is not proper for us to stay." "Let us go, your Majesty." Tuxius blinked. "We are actually leaving?" "But you said you wanted to see something entertaining." Charlotte pushed him along. "Then, enjoy your conversation, both of you." Alone with her, he bowed. "I apologize. That was discourteous of me. May I presume to sit beside you?" "Yes, of course. Why does he treat me with more care than he shows the Emperor? Could the beast blood have not only disfigured him but driven him mad?" Carden looked aside. "If you stare at me like that, I shall be embarrassed. I am far shyer than I appear." Annette came to herself. "Ah, forgive me. What is happening here? Nothing is as I imagined." He held out his hand. "Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Carden Hazen." "I am Annette Harwood." He looked at her hand. "Your hands are so small." She pulled back. "They are not truly this small. I am 24 years old." "I know. You are 2 years my senior." Her hand was still in his. "But in this body. I may not be able to bear the responsibilities of an archduchess as your Highness expects, and so He cut in. "Wait, Princess? What are you about to say? The responsibilities I expect? And what do you mean you cannot bear them?" "I only say it in case your Highness intends to place them on me. If you do not wish it, I shall do nothing at all." "No, that is not my meaning. Do you wish to break the betrothal?" "No, quite the opposite. I only feared that you would be the one to break it. But if you permit it to continue, I will give everything to every task. If you tell me to live as though dead, I will. and if you take a concubine, I will not mind. Stop there. I do not know where to begin. First, why would you think I would break the betrothal? Annette lowered her head. Because you certainly would not want me as your wife. She twisted her fingers. Obviously, you would want to marry Bridget, not me. After all, who would choose me? Carden went rigid. What are you saying? I plainly requested a princess of noble blood. When I saw your name on the letter of consent, I was relieved, thinking that however stupid the king might be, he was at least clever enough to grasp my meaning. Do not tell me. Forgive me. This is your country. That is your father. Annette shook her head. It is all right. He truly wants to marry me? She hesitated a long while before asking, Do you truly not know much about me? The rumors or the curse? He looked at her. Something must have happened to the Princess of Harwood. Her circumstances were harsher than I imagined, and I overlooked that not one person around her had a shred of conscience. No, only in case. Carden spoke. I may understand you better than you think, and I believe you are far too good for me. Annette bowed her head. No, I would not presume. It is you who are too good for me. Princess, may I tell you a secret? A secret? Yes, would you lend me your hand a moment? He leaned in. He is too close. Annette blurted out. What? Did I mishear? You did not mishear. I am not the dowager's son. I am a bastard. I am sorry, Your Highness. I think I must have misheard you. Carden remained calm. If what you heard was that I am a child born out of wedlock, then you heard correctly. The rest of the story is simple. The late emperor made a mistake during his pleasures, as he often did. He could not let the imperial house be shamed, nor could he kill someone carrying imperial blood. So the dowager took me in. She is an extraordinary woman, is she not? Annette could only stare. Do not make that face. The dowager raised me as her own son, and of course I regard her as my true mother. I was given a mother and wonderful siblings, and I grew up happy. I have been fortunate. Annette eased. What a relief. Then the woman who bore you? I am told that in exchange for bearing me, she was promised money and a new identity, enough to live comfortably for life. But I hear she died soon after the birth. That is. He waved it off. It is all right. It does not trouble me in the least. Perhaps the late emperor feared complications and settled the matter himself. And she was foolish, revealing the pregnancy and believing she could be free. Annette gripped her skirt. You do not have to say such cruel things about yourself. Carden laughed softly. You are a kind person, Princess, if I may speak plainly. I am certain your mother loved you a great deal. Had she been able to stay with you, she would have been happy as though she held the whole world, and prouder of you than anyone. Annette went still. Because you are a person of great worth, Princess. Do you understand now that you stand far above me? And that you are far too good for a bastard like me? Why does this man lay out his own weaknesses only to... You are not disappointed to learn I am illegitimate? Annette rubbed her forehead and said nothing. Carden panicked. Princess, are you disappointed? Disappointed? Not at all. He exhaled. Good. I shall tell you the next secret when we reach the Archduchy. Remember this, I may be a liar, but I am not a swindler, and there is still a way for you to exist as yourself. Annette laid her hand over his. If there is a way, then I am at ease. And Princess, one last thing I would ask of you. I do not mind if you bankrupt the Archduchy, nor do I care if you do nothing at all day. That night, lying in bed, she turned his words over. I want you to respect me as your husband. Naturally, I shall do the same. No wonder he reacted so sharply when I mentioned a concubine. Could he truly have feelings for me? How would that even be possible? Serena announced from outside. Your Highness, Her Majesty the Empress has come. Yes, please show her in. Charlotte came in. Did you eat well? I feel badly that you dined alone. Not at all, I ate with Serena. Did the ladies' luncheon go well? Charlotte sighed. I heard a great many amusing things, but honestly, it is always so loud. Goodness, I nearly forgot. The Dowager has invited us to tea, so I came to fetch you. I see. Then let us go. On the way, Charlotte grew curious. By the way, you seem quite close with Serena. You even call her by name. Are you displeased? Annette explained quickly. No, we have grown rather close. Of course, if your Majesty wishes, you may call me by name as well. Charlotte lit up. Oh my, truly, of course. If you are uncomfortable, then I... Not at all, Annette. I am only surprised that you would allow it. In any case, I thought you would be lunching with the Archduke. He went to the temple to ratify our betrothal. So the betrothal is official now. Annette flushed a little. Yes, I gave him a lock of my hair. Charlotte's eyes widened. Your hair? Yes. Both of us were meant to attend, but in my condition. He said he would explain to the priest that my health was too poor to come, and that he required my hair as proof. The Archduke certainly knows how to invent a plausible excuse. Charlotte smiled thinly. Ah, I see. Today's tea is outdoors. This way? Charlotte was still thinking. The House of Aiken holds a power called the Blessing of the God. Because of it, the temple all but worships the imperial family. They would never dare demand proof from a royal registering a betrothal. Charlotte let out a small sigh. The Archduke said that only because he wanted to. Annette, please look after our green young Archduke. Annette blinked. Green? He is very kind and considerate. Charlotte froze. Who exactly do you mean? Annette was earnest. Archduke Hazen is a man of ideal character. He is upright and sincere as well. Charlotte could not believe her ears. Who is this person? And he is very honest, though also rather shy. The smiles on Charlotte and Serena had gone stiff. Who on earth are you talking about? The dowager came up. Hazen said that, did he? Then it seems my son is putting on a play. I was on my way to tea and heard something so absurd I thought my ears had failed. He is my son, but I do not recall raising him to be that cunning. So when you discover he has deceived you, do not blame me. Annette blinked. What do you mean by that? Annette smiled awkwardly. I have made good use of the dress you gave me. Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall treasure it. It is nothing special. Do not treasure it. Wear it whenever you like. Charlotte joined in. The dowager's hobby is sewing. She has prepared an entire wardrobe for you. Thank you, Your Majesty. Both women melted. She is far too endearing. Charlotte turned to the newcomer. Sir Lois. He hurried over. Your Majesty. Who is Sir Lois? He is Mikhail's escort knight. Mikhail should be at his lessons. Why is his escort wandering here? Lois faltered. It is that. Charlotte's grip tightened on the teacup. So Mikhail has skipped his lessons and vanished again. Where is he now, Sir Lois? His Highness has disappeared, so I am searching. But no matter where I look, I cannot find him. I see. He was never like this before. Lately, I do not understand why he behaves this way. He cannot concentrate in his lessons and slips away somewhere. Mikhail. The dowager spoke. Lois is a gifted royal guard. If even Lois cannot find him, could the boy be somewhere a guard cannot go? Charlotte nodded. If it is a place no guard's foot can reach, then it must be the secret garden. Then I shall go to the garden. No. This time I wish to walk the garden myself. Princess, you should come with us. Yes, I would like that. Before long, they were inside the secret garden. Last time I was here, I had no chance to look closely. Birdsong, the animals by the lake. Here one cannot even hear the servants of the palace. As though this space and this time were cut away from everything else. Charlotte stopped. I hear something over there. Shall we go and look? Annette caught it at once. Two voices. He is not alone. She stepped in front of her. Your Majesty, wait a moment. Charlotte had already seen what lay ahead. Audrey, daughter of the House of Melon. What is that boy thinking? A child himself? And he brings an outsider into the secret garden. If I do not give him a proper scolding. The dowager raised a hand. Wait, Empress. I understand how you feel. But they are still children. They will be frightened if a group of adults appears out of nowhere. Besides, is Lady Melon not the Crown Prince's childhood friend? Charlotte relented. You are right, Your Majesty. Then we shall wait a while. No. Let us move over there and listen in on what the children are saying. Charlotte nearly choked. I beg your pardon? Do not worry. From here the children will not notice us, and we shall hear everything. Charlotte remembered. Annette, maids and servants are not permitted in the garden, so you may rest easy. Does eavesdropping make you uncomfortable? No, I am fine. I am curious as well. I wonder what secret the Crown Prince has that requires coming all the way out here. Eavesdropping is wrong, but since it is my first time, it is a little thrilling. Audrey was leaning toward him. Your Highness, what is troubling you? You have done nothing but sigh since we met today. Is an assignment giving you difficulty? Mikhail shook his head. No. Then is there something in your lessons you do not understand? He scowled. Audrey, do you think me a fool? Audrey sighed. In truth, after your letter came, I had to beg my father for permission to enter the palace. I told him I would wait in the library and read. If he comes looking for me, I shall be in real trouble. Mikhail stepped closer. Audrey, would you still like me the way you do now if I were not the crown prince? Audrey blinked. Why do you ask so suddenly? Just tell me the truth. Of course I would still like you, whether you are crown prince or not. Mikhail brightened. Truly? That is my Audrey. Very well. Then I shall stop being crown prince. May I come and live at your house, as a son-in-law? Charlotte and the dowager both choked. What? What is he saying? Does the crown prince mean to abandon the throne? Audrey floundered. I do not think that is possible. The position of crown prince is not something to be cast off at will. He was still beaming. Audrey, are you that surprised? Or is it that you would not like me if I were not the crown prince? No, it is not that I would not like you. But that is entirely unreasonable. Mikhail bristled. Why unreasonable? They say one may give up everything for the person one loves. Who told you something so strange? He answered simply. My uncle. The whole garden fell silent. Audrey cleared her throat. Whatever the Archduke says, the crown prince abdicating is still unreasonable. Mikhail still did not follow. Why? All three eavesdroppers groaned. Good heavens. The dowager covered her face. I am ashamed. Charlotte covered hers as well. So am I. I have wondered why Mikhail has been acting strangely, so it was Archduke Hazen planting these absurd notions in the boy's head. But it is odd. He could perfectly well be with Lady Mellon while remaining crown prince. Why insist on abdicating? The dowager stood. Let us go. The crown prince talks nonsense, but Lady Mellon is firm enough that we need not intervene. Charlotte rose too. Yes, I shall summon the crown prince for a private word later. Her step went wide, and her foot came down on a dry branch. Mikhail whipped around. Who is there? The dowager sighed. Good heavens! Charlotte panicked. What do we do now? Mikhail shouted again. I asked who is there? Annette sat perfectly still. If you do not come out at once, I shall come over there. She stepped out. I apologize, Your Highness. It is me again. I overheard your conversation by accident. His face drained. How much did you hear? Audrey was curious. Your Highness, who is this? Mikhail turned. Audrey, this lady is, well, Audrey, are you crying? The girl looked down. It is only that. I thought the crown prince had invited only me here. I did not know you had another precious person, hidden so carefully. A bond close enough that you will not even answer me. Annette rushed forward. No, this is a misunderstanding. My lady, Mikhail hurried too. That is right. This lady is not my guest. She is my mother's guest. And I believe she may be my betrothed. Annette went rigid. What kind of enormous misunderstanding is this? He was still explaining. But do not misunderstand. I need no one but you, Audrey. Audrey was already hurt. Your Highness, I am fine. You need not do this for my sake. Annette stood there, hands shaking. So this really is a misunderstanding. Mikhail shouted on. No, there is only Audrey in my heart. That is why I shall abdicate to be with Audrey. At that moment, an entire slope of earth and stone came down toward them. Elsewhere, Carden was delighted. Brother, look at this. Guess what I have brought? The certificate of betrothal I received from the temple. I am now formally engaged to the princess. Tuxius raised an eyebrow. So you came to boast of it to me? The man you ignored last time? No. I merely dropped in because I thought you might be bored. You lie so easily. The princess must be busy now. Carden conceded. I wanted to run straight to her. But she is at tea with the dowager. By the way, is postponing the imperial wedding truly safe? If anything should happen, Carden cut in, I shall be fine. Who knows whether the same thing might occur again, so it is better to settle it once and for all. I cannot keep leaning on you every time my body changes, and honestly, I think this outcome is the best one. Tuxius narrowed his eyes. Do not tell me you. Carden looked away. Do not look at me like that. It is not what you think. They say she has been alone since she was very small. So while she is still as she is, I simply want to care for her and comfort her. By the way, Marquis Mellon, are you acquainted with the princess? Yes. His Majesty placed her at the top of the palace protection list, so I confirmed her appearance. Carden's voice lowered. To my eye, the princess is about the same age as your daughter. Besides dolls and cakes, what do girls that age usually like? My Audrey has been frail since birth, so she mostly likes reading at home, Tuxius interjected. Is Lady Melon not fondest of the crown prince? Melon corrected him. No, your majesty. It is the crown prince who is fond of Lady Audrey. No, what I meant was, Carden gave up, both of you. Melon paled. What is happening, your majesty? Every head in the room turned the same way. On the other side lay the secret garden. Annette stared at the scene before her. What is this? The children. She lunged, pulling Mikhail and Audrey clear of the falling earth. The three of them escaped by a hair. He shook the girl frantically. Audrey, open your eyes. Annette caught his hand. She has only fainted. Do not shake her so hard. Charlotte came running. Is anyone hurt? Mikhail looked up. Grandmother? Mother. Heavens, Annette, I owe you more than I can say. The dowager hurried over. Are you injured anywhere? No, it is Lady Melon who... Tuxius arrived. What is going on here? Mikhail's face crumpled. Uncle, father. The dowager lifted the girl. Lady Melon has fainted. Take the child out first. Yes, your majesty. Marquis Melon should be waiting outside. Annette watched Audrey go. I hope she is not badly hurt. Carden stepped up. And now who is worrying about whom? She looked up. When did you get here? He only looked at her without blinking. She kept her voice level. Did your journey to the temple go well? Carden crouched to her height. Your body has already come to this, and now your face is hurt as well. I know you did not intend it, but it pains me. He wiped the mud from her cheek. I am sorry, but it is nothing. I shall heal quickly. What is there to apologize to me for? Because I made your highness worry. I did my best. Why is he like this? He could at least praise me once. Why am I behaving like a child? Carden stood. Princess, promise me one more thing. From now on, take good care of yourself. Your body is covered in old wounds, and you have never said a word about them. Annette groped for an excuse. Ah, that is. At last she nodded. Carden, yes. Tuxius cleared his throat. Is it over? We need to hear exactly what happened. Mikhail, blindfolded, shouted. I saw nothing, mother. Annette did not know where to begin. That is. Charlotte gripped her son's shoulders. Mikhail, repeat what you just said. Mikhail trembled. Mother, since when? I heard all of it from the beginning. You told the daughter of a marquess that you would abandon your house, abandon the throne, and become his son-in-law. Is that right? Tuxius stared. What? Mikhail, what did you just say? Charlotte continued, that if you truly love someone, you must be ready to give up everything. Mikhail, who taught you that? Annette turned to Carden. Surely Archduke Hazen did not say such a thing. As a loyal subject of the Empire, he would never speak treason to the crown prince. Tuxius turned his eyes on him. Carden, it was you again. He raised both hands. It is a misunderstanding. Only a misunderstanding. Nephew, I did say something along those lines. But do you remember what I said before it? Mikhail thought. Before it? Carden ruffled his hair. I said that to protect the one you love and make them happy. You must have strength. But if you chase strength alone, you may forget the heart you began with. So you must be ready to give up anything for the one you love. But if you throw everything away like that, how exactly do you protect Lady Melon? In the end, you simply did as you pleased. Am I wrong? Tuxius crouched down. Mikhail, I taught you that the Empire of Aachen and its people are what you must treasure all your life. And yet you hold the throne so lightly? Is it so trivial a thing to cast aside? He hung his head. No, that is not it. I was wrong. But even so, if being crown prince means marrying someone I do not love, then I will not do it. I will not marry that lady. I will marry Audrey. Charlotte stepped forward. You did say that, but Mikhail, it was a misunderstanding. He blinked. What? Carden lifted Annette up. Nephew, this is my princess. She flushed. Please put me down. Mikhail's jaw dropped. What? She is your princess? Charlotte nodded. It is true, Mikhail. Carden frowned. Why are you looking at me as though I were some deviant? No, Then Mikhail keeled over. Charlotte cried out, Heavens, Mikhail. Annette panicked too. Your Highness! Tuxius caught him. Princess, once again, thank you for today. I know you must have many questions, but I shall explain another time. For now, the Empress and I will take Mikhail away, Carden reassured her. Do not worry, the boy has only fainted from exhaustion. Annette looked up at him. What is this? Why? Was that accident connected to the Crown Prince? Carden glanced at her. Exactly as I expected. The princess is very sharp. But I cannot explain now. I do not fully understand it myself and must look into it further. I shall tell you more later. She did not press. Yes, I understand. He held out his arm. Shall we go now? Annette squirmed. Could you put me down? I can walk on my own. Absolutely not. You are injured. Besides, carrying you is faster. She gave up and sighed. Years earlier, the late emperor glared. Weakling. You are unworthy to be called my son until you awaken your power. Tuxius looked up. Father? He stepped closer. Remember this. As a member of the imperial house, you must awaken the strongest power. Anything less and you are worthless. Mikhail's bedchamber. The boy was fast asleep. Tuxius pulled the blanket over him and quietly closed the door. He appeared in the secret garden. The rear garden was built as a training ground for the imperial power when the palace was raised, so it is warded by restorative magic and a formidable barrier. Even so, seeing it with one's own eyes is astonishing. Awakening a power. Tuxius remembered being thrown backward, remembered crying out from the pain. The late emperor kept shouting. Useless. 15 years old and still no awakening. You have disgraced the blood of Aachen. He could only kneel, shaking. Father, I am sorry. There is no other way. From next week, Carden will train with you. Tuxius stared. But father, Carden is only 3. How could a child that age? Age is irrelevant. Or do you fear a bastard will awaken before you and set his sights on the throne? Tuxius shook his head at once. What? No. Of course not. He turned coldly away. Then awaken your power quickly. Otherwise, your beloved Carden will be dragged in as well. In the end, I awakened that night. Because I thought that if I did, father would stop being so harsh with Carden. How foolish. Just then, Carden walked up. Brother? What are you doing here? Tuxius started. Did I interrupt your thoughts? You startled me. Why come from that direction? I have been looking into the incident earlier. But the garden has already been restored by magic. Even so, I have doubts about what happened today. It is rare to see you with that unpleasant mask off. Carden smiled. The princess is asleep, and no one outside the imperial house can enter here, correct? You would do better to be rid of it entirely. Your kind elder brother has told you so many times. Carden said it plainly. The one who awakened is Mikhail, is he not? Tuxius raised a brow. You knew and told no one? Do not do that again. Your wife has already given me a scolding. Understandable enough. The boy should not have awakened until he turned 10. So is that the only reason you concealed it? Not because Mikhail's power is identical to the late emperor's? Tuxius looked at him. So you thought so too? Yes, but the boy's power seems stronger than the previous emperor's. The late emperor could barely move a cup of water, could he not? Whereas the boy's strength is great enough to genuinely worry me. A power draws on the vitality of the one who holds it. The greater the strength, the greater the risk. But above all, the reason I kept it secret is myself. A power awakens and grows in adversity, does it not? That is why the previous emperor was so brutal with us. But I do not want to become a man like that. I did not know how to teach Mikhail, so I told no one. Carden came closer. Your problem is that you are too earnest. Do you remember what Mother used to say? That she could bend the whole world to her will, but never her children. And with this incident, you had forbidden Mikhail from seeing the Marquis's daughter, correct? Because the boy cannot control his power yet. Who knows what might happen? That is precisely the cause. Thanks to this, I believe Mikhail has learned something valuable. Until he can control that strength, the boy is a danger to himself and to everyone around him. You are right. Without the princess, the outcome would be unthinkable. So I intend to tell her everything, including my own power. Carden nodded. I understand. Finding the root and the remedy is the best course. But I am in her debt, and I cannot stand by while my benefactor is in danger. Tuxius Aachen, the man who moves time with his fingertips. Carden asked, and if your power has no effect on the princess? Which is why I have already tested it in secret. I gave the princess a purification stone the other day, remember? At that moment, I advanced her time by roughly 1 week. If the princess said she wished to return to her original form this instant, I am ready to use it. Carden was quiet a moment. If that is what the princess wants. The next day in the drawing room, you must have been shaken yesterday, princess. What happened was an accident caused by what we call the imperial power, though I imagine you have already guessed. Annette answered softly. Yes, back in Harwood I had heard of it. A strength that rises when the empire stands in peril. But as the years passed and Akin grew mighty, the power rarely showed itself, and there is no official record of it anywhere. I assumed it was only a legend. Charlotte took over. Yesterday happened because Mikhail has only just awakened. The boy cannot fully control it yet. He tells me all this in such detail, perhaps because I witnessed it. But a secret of this magnitude? Tuxius continued. My power concerns time, Annette blurted out. I beg your pardon? I cannot control all the time in this world, but I can reverse time within a region or for a single person. I can make a minute pass like a year, or fold 10 years into a minute. Why is he telling me this? Do not tell me. She hesitated. Your Majesty, do you mean you could restore my true body with that power? Yes, it is entirely possible. Annette lowered her eyes. Then, Carden watched her in silence. She looked up. Forgive me, Your Majesty. I shall treat your help as a last resort. I wish to repay the favor you did us yesterday. Truly, he tells me a secret of that size only because of yesterday? And why say it now, when he said nothing from the day I arrived at Akin? The Emperor and Empress have been nothing but kind. If my body returned to normal, there would be no obstacle left to the imperial wedding. And what if there is a risk? There certainly is. He smiled. Whenever you wish. Annette pressed. Does your power have limits? A condition to invoke it, or a price to pay? Tuxius paused, that is, yes. The power of the imperial house draws on the vitality of the one who uses it. She caught it. Vitality. But vitality is not directly tied to lifespan. It is a kind of energy that recovers with rest and sleep. Then when would you like your body restored? I know what you are thinking, but I say this because I truly am well. Nor am I refusing your help outright. It is only that the Archduke has engaged a mage, and I am willing to endure this inconvenience until there is a result. Charlotte was surprised. A mage? Carden nodded. Ma-An arrived yesterday. Ma-An. Is he not the royal mage? Carden remembered. You have been through a great deal. He had crouched down then and asked her, Does it hurt much? Not at all. He took a little of her blood yesterday to find the cause. I am 24 and I look like a child of 8. I would have to go back 10 years at least. Even for the Emperor, that would be no small thing. Annette spoke up. Do not worry, there will surely be another way. Carden turned to her. If that is what the princess believes, then I agree as well. Annette glanced at him, faintly guilty. And he only watched her, his eyes gentle. Tuxius let out a breath. Very well. But I cannot postpone the imperial wedding forever. If there is no solution within 3 months, I shall use the power then. Yes, thank you, Your Majesty. Walking in the garden, she was still turning it over. A power. I have only read of such things. And I have 3 months to find an answer. My head aches. Annette closed her eyes and listened. Then she spoke. I know you are there. Behind the hedge, Mikhail flinched. She turned. Crown Prince Mikhail, what are you doing here? He came out. I was only curious. Are you truly my uncle's princess? She shaded her eyes from his shining gaze. Yes. Though political betrothed might be more accurate. When the garden came down, you held me and Audrey and dodged it perfectly, just as my uncle said. I want to be as strong as you. Annette paused. Your Highness, the Archduke has spoken of me before? Yes, he speaks of you constantly. What does he say about me? He frowned. He said the princess is, I cannot remember the word. What could he have learned about me? My past, the curse, these dreadful red eyes, any one of them. Mikhail clapped his hands. Respect. He said you are the person he respects most in the world. Respect? Then are you truly stronger than my uncle? Annette shook her head. I have never crossed blades with him, so. Carden walked up. The princess would win. Mikhail threw himself at him. Uncle. Carden swept him up. Mikhail, now that your power has awakened, will you not outgrow me soon enough? But uncle, if you fought the princess, would you really lose? Yes, I would lose. How could I ever raise a hand against the princess? Annette could not answer. Losing in that sense? Carden turned to the boy. Mikhail, a guest is waiting for you in the reception room. A guest for me? He set him down. Yes. When you arrive, your mother and the guest will be waiting. Off you go. Yes, at once. Annette looked up. Where are you going? I have just come back from Ma'an, but there is little progress. He says he needs more time. And I bought this on the way. She looked at the box in his hand. What is this? It is from the most famous confectioner in the capital. You like sweets, do you not? Try one. Annette opened the box. Inside lay pastries too beautiful to touch. She picked one up and raised it to her mouth. Her eyes went wide. Carden thought to himself, she seems to like it. Excellent. He lifted her up. Enjoy it as you please. I shall carry you to the reception room on these long legs. She panicked. Am I truly a child now? Put me down. Put me down at once. Carden was unbothered. It is easier to eat sitting like this. Annette struck him. Do you truly think me a child? Carden gave a small yelp. That hurt. Where you hit me will surely bruise. She winced. I really cannot control my strength. I am sorry. I think you should be a little gentler. Then tell me honestly, does it truly not hurt, Your Highness? Outside the reception room, Mikhail stood rooted. Why are you not going in? He turned. Uncle, yes? It is a little hard to go in. Has something happened? Charlotte came out. I came out because of the noise. Is everyone here? Mother. Her face darkened. Mikhail, what have you been doing while your guest waits? He raised his hands. No, it is not like that. Audrey stepped forward. It is quite all right, Your Majesty. Audrey of House Mellon, greeting His Highness, the little son of the Empire, and His Grace, Archduke Hazen. Annette looked at her. Audrey, are you well? The girl smiled brightly. Forgive me for not recognizing you last time, Princess Harwood. What is this situation? Why are the two of them sitting on either side of me? Now that I think of it, when she greeted me, she called me Princess Harwood, which means she knows exactly who I am. So why is she not afraid? Has she never heard the rumors about me? Audrey let out a soft sigh. She rose. Your Highness, if you have nothing to say to me, I shall take my leave. Mikhail scrambled. Wait, Audrey. Are you truly not afraid of my power? No, I am not afraid. The Crown Prince's power is not meant to harm anyone. It is a strength meant to protect, not to wound. So please stop tormenting yourself over it. Take heart. Annette sat between them with nowhere to look. He turned away, embarrassed. Audrey, thank you. The girl turned to her. Now that I think of it, I have not thanked you for the garden. When I woke that day, the Dowager told me everything. Thank you for saving my life, Princess Harwood. It was nothing at all. I only heard a few rumors. Annette kept her smile while screaming inside. Rumors about a monster? I have never seen eyes and hair so beautiful. You are lovely as a rose. She blinked. I am lovely? Yes. My hair is black as night, so I truly envy that red. Mikhail cut in. What are you saying? Audrey's hair is beautiful too. More beautiful, in fact. The girl went pink. That is only because the Crown Prince is besotted with me. Charlotte watched from a distance. Lady Audrey is a clever child. She will not go about revealing Annette's true identity. Tuxius said, there was never any need to worry about that. Carden grumbled. It only feels as though even the children are stealing my princess away. Charlotte laughed. So that is why you look so tense. But since she is so happy, let it be. Out in the corridor, Carden spoke. Children must be delightful. I have never seen you laugh so naturally. Truly? Yes. Your laugh is delightful as well. You must be tired after all that talking. Let me carry you to your room. There is no need. I am well able to walk. Please stop treating me like a child. Honestly, ever since last time treating me like an infant. What bothers me is that he pays no attention at all to his own body. Promise me that from now on you will treasure yourself. In truth, I do not know what that means. Next to the wounds I took hunting beasts, that scratch is nothing. I am used to enduring pain. But treasuring myself, I do not even know what it feels like to treasure anything. Princess, please treasure yourself. Those eyes. He cut into her thoughts. Princess, come along. Are you angry that I keep treating you as a child? But you do not know. You truly are lovely. So that is it. What I truly want to know is not how to treasure myself. It is whether this man's sincerity lies behind that mask, or whether all of it is a joke aimed at someone who has turned into a child. After a moment, she said, "I am not angry, and I am not going to my room. I shall attend the evening banquet. Will the Archduke not be dining with the Emperor and Empress as well?" Carden stopped. "That is right. I usually dine alone in the evening because of this mask." Because of the mask. He said his face was ruined by beast blood. He must have always eaten with his family before, and now he eats alone. How lonely that must be. "I ate alone my whole life as well. Only after coming to Aachen did I learn the pleasure of eating with others." "Should I invite him to eat with me?" She opened her mouth. But wait. If he ate with me, he would have to remove the mask. Would that put him in a difficult position? "Never mind. Change the subject. Actually, there is something else I would like to do." He agreed instantly. "Anything at all. Whatever the princess wants, I shall do. I would like to learn etiquette. Yes. I was never taught it properly as a child. And I would like to learn the history of the Empire of Aachen. So I wondered whether I might visit the library. He agrees so easily to whatever I want. But does he do it for himself or for someone else? And if it is only for someone else? No. It has only begun. I should not rush to conclusions." He offered his arm. "The library or anywhere else. It is entirely up to you, Princess." "Truly, of course." An unexpected windfall. The books of the Imperial Library are nothing like the worn volumes in the outer palace. Come to think of it, Frank used to help me read as well. Frank Harwood, eldest son of the king and Annette's brother. Before the previous queen died, he was treated as a prince and raised as one. But when Annette was born, the queen died, and when Esther became queen, Frank became a burden. He was frail and kept to his room, yet he still found Annette books about the beasts and a sword for her to train with. Annette's only brother. Frank, I wonder what has become of him. But Princess, setting etiquette aside, why the sudden wish to study the Empire and the Archduchy? Annette turned. Well, Aachen is my homeland now, and the Archduchy of Hessen is where I shall go on living. So it is only natural to want to know them. She surprised herself. That is the first time I have said something so honest. Carden went quiet. Then he bent toward her. "I am glad. Thank you very much, Princess." Annette faltered. "Of course." "But," he cut in, "now that I think of it, why not go somewhere other than the Imperial Library? Our own castle library, for instance, our castle." Carden stood. "Indeed. My men have left the Archduchy and will arrive tomorrow at noon, so let us depart right after lunch." "We are not even married, and you already say our castle." He saw nothing wrong with it. Is it not soon enough? But tomorrow is sooner than I expected. Carden was serene. I told them to ride day and night to fetch the princess as quickly as possible. No one knows of this yet, but by tomorrow morning they will. Because tonight I shall tell Mother. Is that not rather abrupt? Not at all. Princess, you are far too famous. If we stay here, I fear I shall not be able to keep you to myself. So let us go as soon as we can. For that reason? And the next day, the knights of the Archduchy arrived. They called out in unison, "We swear our loyalty to your highness and to the future mistress of the Archduchy." The evening before, in the Dowager's palace. "What brings you here at this hour?" Carden sat with his legs crossed, entirely at ease. "Do I need a reason to visit?" "I came because I missed you, Mother." She raised her teacup and glanced at the crossed legs. "Of course you did. Now stop circling and tell me why you have come." The servants took the hint and withdrew. Once the room was empty, he asked at once, "What did you think of her?" The Dowager did not need long. "Who? That child?" She sipped her tea. "She is far too good for you." Carden nodded along. "Is she not? Our princess is quite lovely." Her expression clouded. "Nothing like the rumors. The girl is very unassuming. I hear she was never properly educated, and yet her manners are flawless, without a single error." "Oh, Mother, rumors are only rumors. You do not dislike the princess, do you?" "What is there to dislike?" "It is only that I cannot help sighing when I see my son forced to wear that suffocating mask." Carden tilted his head. "You know it cannot be helped." "Very well. I have sent everyone away. So take the mask off." "I have no wish to talk to a mask." He reached up and removed it. "Thank you, Mother. I only wanted you to see my face once before I go, so that you do not forget how handsome your son is." Carden displayed his true face with complete confidence. She sighed. "If that mouth of yours were a little smaller. But go where? Where are you going?" Tomorrow I depart for the Archduchy. Her cup came down hard. What? Tomorrow? Of course. I shall travel with the princess, so please do not look disappointed and try to keep us here. You came only to tell me that? Carden smiled. Naturally. If you try to hold her, the princess truly will not leave. The dowager glared. You ungrateful boy! He remained perfectly relaxed. Do not be like that. The sooner we reach the Archduchy, the sooner you will have grandchildren to hold. She went still. Are you not curious about your own darling grandchildren? Sure enough, she could not hold out. Grandchildren? Then she recovered her dignity. Did I not teach you never to tease your elders? Tease? I meant every word. In the end, she could only say, from now on, treat the princess well. I know. You need not say it. Do not worry. He walked to the door. Then I go tomorrow. I shall write often. She watched him leave. I wonder who that boy takes after, stubborn as he is. Alone at last, the dowager took out a blue box. She looked at it a long while. Yes, it is time to bring this out. In the courtyard, Mikhail clung to Annette's skirt, sobbing. Auntie, do not go. Where are you going? Why are you leaving Mikhail? The people around them could only watch, none daring to intervene. At last, Charlotte lifted him up. Mikhail, have some dignity. You are the crown prince. Annette made a promise. Your Highness, I shall come back soon. His eyes lit up. Truly? Yes. I must return for the imperial wedding. And when I do, I shall help you with your sword work, for whatever it is worth. Charlotte stood behind him. Annette, thank you for everything. We shall meet again. I will not say farewell as though this were the last time. Let us meet again in good health, Annette. By the way, I hear the betrothal gifts are being sent to Harwood today. Annette winced. Do not tell me you sent the entire list from last time. Tuxius nodded. Of course we did. The list was long enough to leave Harwood reeling. Annette said honestly, it truly is too much. Carden came up. It is not much at all. She was still hesitating when Charlotte spoke. Indeed. Annette is worth far more than that. Tuxius agreed. In truth, it is still not enough to welcome a princess of Aachen. Carden sat down beside her. You heard them. Do not think it excessive. I too think it falls short. She still hesitated. But... From the distance came the sound of hooves. He looked up. Ah, the knights of the Archduchy have arrived. A solemn column formed up in the courtyard of the estate. All of them saluted at once. We greet your Highness and the lady of the Archduchy. Annette was slightly bewildered. Everyone is looking at me, and not one of them seems surprised. Carden nodded. Naturally. They could hardly look surprised at the lady of the Archduchy. If anything, I feared they would lose their composure at the princess's beauty. The entire column froze where it stood. The man in spectacles hurried up and whispered to the front rank. I know what you are all thinking. Calm yourselves. Your Highness, all preparations are complete. Give the word whenever you wish. But one person is still missing. Mother, there you are at last. The dowager came forward. It seems I am late. Princess, may I speak with you a moment? Yes, of course, Your Majesty. Annette followed her to a quiet spot. Your Majesty. She half turned. Carden told me not to look sad, but I am sad to see you go. I did not know you would leave so suddenly, so I had a few garments altered. They are already loaded into the carriage. Wear them comfortably when you arrive. Thank you. How am I to express all this gratitude? The reason I grew used to something I had never worn in only a few days is because, unlike the heavy gowns of Harwood, the dowager had them made with great care, easy on the body. She had sat and designed each one herself. Annette lowered her eyes. I should tell her she has given me far more than I deserve. Before she could speak, the dowager produced another box. I thought it better to place this in your hands myself rather than leave it in the carriage. This is jewelry I brought from my own family. The necklace and earrings were a set, but I gave the necklace to the Empress. Inside lay a pair of shining earrings, carefully preserved. The dowager knelt and pulled her into an embrace. And there is something I have wanted to say for a long time. Carden is my son, and you are my daughter. Annette, thank you for coming, for becoming part of this family. Annette's eyes filled. Then she broke into sobs. When was it? When was the last time I cried like this? Perhaps this is the first time since Sarah died. Carden happened past just then. He rushed over. Why have you made her cry? But this feels nothing like that time. The burning in my chest that I have held down for so long has finally broken loose, and I cannot pull it back. Tuxius and Charlotte saw it from a distance and looked worried. Annette thought quietly, I believe I shall remember this moment for a long time. He offered, Let me dry your tears. It is all right. The carriage rolled out. Carden looked at her. Your eyes are quite swollen. Annette turned away. Please stop teasing me. Do you know how alarmed I was, seeing you cry after meeting Mother? I am sorry. Carden shook his head. You need not apologize. It is good to cry now and then. But please cry only in front of me, so that I may hand you a handkerchief as I did before. Ah, that reminds me. There is a letter for you. A letter? He passed it over. The Marquess's daughter asked me to deliver it. Annette opened it and read. A moment later, she looked up, her whole face bright. The lady asks whether she may write to me at the Archduke's estate. She says she wants to recommend some books, so I will not be bored. She held the letter tight. When we meet again, I think I should prepare a small gift for everyone. I have received so much. I would like to give a little back. If that is your wish, I shall gladly help. Evening fell and the party halted beside a lake. A voice came from outside the carriage. My lord, we have surveyed the woods and the lake nearby. It is late. We should make camp here for the night. Princess, will you be all right camping here? I did it many times during the beast hunts, so it is no trouble at all. In truth, I may be rather too used to it. He handed her down from the carriage. Princess, mind your footing. He called me princess. That is somewhat. Annette kept her face level. Ah, yes. Every soldier in the party went deliberately deaf. I saw nothing. Why does His Highness behave that way? I have seen something I should not have. That only made her more flustered. I am certain they all heard. A call came from ahead. My lord, please inspect this a moment. Carden turned to her. Princess, I shall return shortly. Yes, please go. The man in spectacles came over. Princess, I shall show you to your quarters. Thank you. Left alone, she studied the knights' uniforms carefully. I have been watching a while. This order. Old memories surfaced. I wonder how the Harwood Knights are faring. When she was captain, Annette used to tell them, do not lose heart. One more slope and that is all. On your feet, brave knights of Harwood. And the whole column would answer as one. That night around the fire, someone said, she was magnificent again today, was she not? Who? You idiot? He snapped back. Our commander, obviously. I had only heard the stories. Today I saw for myself how she fights. A young man exclaimed, extraordinary, just as they say of the Royal Knights of Harwood. The man beside him teased, are you bragging about being the new recruit? Our budget has been cut again. What, truly? Yes, I hear the proposal to the Treasury was rejected. Because we are just a band of knights without titles, no doubt. Even though we may be the most capable. The other man grew bitter. I know. It is laughable. We earn less than the palace guard. Annette heard all of it from outside the circle. Curse it, I should not have come here. On the other side, the conversation went on. Even after the commander went to the Treasury in person, nothing changed? She stiffened at what came next. And who do you think cleans up every time? I am finished. I have a debt due this month. The whole group started up at once. I am sorry, I cannot lend anything. It is my daughter's birthday. I have to buy medicine for my parents. I never asked to borrow. I only meant that if we skimmed a little from the spoils this time, I could clear it. Idiot. Gold right in front of us and we leave it. What a waste. Forget it. Every bit of it belongs to the crown. In front of her, the fire was still burning. I thought that if I led the hunts well, things would improve. It turned out to be an illusion. If anything, I am the reason the crown treats them so coldly. Carden carried over a bowl and sat down beside her. Princess, so this is where you are. You have come. He held up the bowl. I brought soup for supper. What are you thinking about? Ah, nothing at all. He lifted a spoonful. This soup has cooled nicely, and it looks well besides. Open wide. She stiffened. Pardon? Carden was undeterred. Wider, princess. Annette turned her head away. My lord, I am able to feed myself. Yes, I know, but I should like to feed you properly, she told herself. Hold firm. Then sighed and surrendered. Only this once. Carden brought the spoon over, delighted. Thank you. Now then. The spoon stopped in front of her. Annette obediently closed her mouth around it. An arrow struck his heart, so lovely. Carden spoke. I have thought this for some time, but lately I have grown certain of it. What is it? When we have children, I believe I shall raise them very well. Annette froze with the soup still in her mouth. He went on, singing them to sleep each night, for instance. And if you cannot sleep tonight, please say so. Because I shall be there to sing you to sleep. The knights nearby turned to stone. She said nothing and bolted straight for the carriage. Carden stood and called after her. Princess? Why is she like that? She has not finished eating. The man in spectacles came over. My lord, you sound exactly like a deviant. He glanced over, cold. Meaning? Do you want to die? You spoke of having children to someone that small. Of course it sounds strange. Carden froze. What? He pictured Annette avoiding him. That deviant of an archduke. How could he say such a thing? How disappointing. That is not what I meant. I must clear this up. Inside the carriage, Annette's head was spinning. Good heavens, I am going to lose my mind. A child. Ours. She covered her burning face. What am I to do? He makes it sound as though we are already married. At the same time, in the eastern mountains, at the forward camp of the Harwood Beast Subjugation Force, what are the casualty figures? Both have doubled from before. If this continues, the survival of the order itself is at risk. On the questioner's chest sat a silver badge. It is that serious? The loss of one commander and the whole order cannot hold. He is John Mulet, vice commander of the Royal Knights of Harwood. Brayman bowed his head. Forgive me, vice commander. John moved straight to the next matter. Have all the men been treated? Yes, fortunately no one is gravely wounded. We have given basic care and can return once we stop at the temple for purification. He half turned. What were the results of this expedition? Brayman flinched but told the truth. This one took twice the usual time. I expected the commander's absence to have some effect, but I never imagined it would be this severe. He fell into thought. Some mock the Harwood order, saying anyone can join regardless of birth. But in truth, this order gathers the finest, enough to stand beside the knights of Archduke Hazen, and it was the commander who made it so. Brayman could not contain his anger, and they could not even hold a discharge ceremony for the woman who raised the order to that height. His Majesty goes too far. Besides, the commander was not wounded over anything trivial. She was wounded protecting a recruit. After everything the commander did. Well, perhaps this will be the chance for those above to see what a stupid mistake they have made. John cut him off. Brahmin. He started and fell silent. Mind your words, is that how a royal knight speaks? I am sorry. Of course it is unbecoming of a royal knight, but is there anyone in this order who genuinely likes the king? How many times have they chafed at his decisions? They say that Miser hates the commander and will not raise the budget. Then who made a small kingdom like Harwood prosper? The profit from selling beast materials is hardly small. He stole a glance at his superior. In truth, almost the entire order stands behind the commander. Only the vice commander is the exception. To call her the daughter of a sworn enemy would not be far wrong. John read the tally and said flatly, the count this time is a fifth of what it used to be. Brahmin clung to a small hope. But surely that means the king will have to come begging the commander to return. When she recovers, she will come straight back to us. John was silent a long while. That is how it ought to be. Elsewhere, Annette was still burning with embarrassment. A child. He said our child. She recalled the rest of it. If the princess cannot sleep tonight, I could carry you on my back until you do. It has been so long since anyone said such things to me. Even as a small child, Sarah never carried me to sleep. In Harwood, no one sang children to sleep. She looked out the window and thought of things long past. On the march that day, the whole column had answered as one. In the village, several knights had played with the children. The villagers helped them gladly. Is there anything else you need? A knight took the bundle. This is more than enough. Thank you. Annette and John made a circuit of the village. She turned to him. Let us stop at the market for more provisions and water. Yes, though this land does not belong to Harwood. A clear voice beside her made her stop. Sleep well, my little one. A girl was carrying her baby sister on her back, murmuring to her. So good. My little sister is so very good. She patted and hummed softly. What a fine girl. There now. Sleep well and wake up hungry. John called when he saw her standing still. Commander! Only after a moment did she turn away. It is nothing. Let us go. In the carriage, Annette asked herself, if I had been born an ordinary person, and if Frank were well, could I have lived a quiet life like that? Back then, I envied those two sisters. Then her face went red again. No, I am still mortified. How could he say such things in front of everyone? Saying he would carry me on his back to sleep. What is he thinking? I forgot that memory long ago. How could he know it? Have I ever told the Archduke? Carden appeared outside the carriage window. Princess, this is a misunderstanding. I am not a deviant. She tilted her head. A deviant? Even if you had become an old woman instead of a child, I would not mind. So please do not misunderstand. Hear me out, Princess. Princess, I want to explain in person. Please open the door. Behind him, the men could only exchange weary looks. Inside, Annette had reached her limit as well. She flung the door open. Please be quiet. Carden lowered his voice. Princess, you have misunderstood. It is not that I look at you that way. It is that I love you. Her face went scarlet. Stop this. She sank down and he panicked. Princess, are you hurt somewhere? Shall I have them bring you a meal? The knights behind him told themselves, that is certainly the cold and unyielding Archduke. The man who kills beasts without so much as blinking. And a moment ago he was calling her princess in that voice. The whole party stood frozen. The dark-haired one said it aloud. I never imagined our master was such a hopeless romantic. Inside the carriage, Annette frowned. Something is not right here. Carden produced a box of biscuits. Princess, I brought the biscuits you like. She stayed exactly where she was, after 2 days with the Archduke. I have realized something. That mouth of his is frighteningly sweet. He always begins by saying I may do whatever I wish, and in the end everything goes his way. Yesterday was the same. I said I would not eat, and he talked me around until I gave in for fear of waking hungry. And after supper, while I was brushing my teeth, Carden sat beside her and watched. Our princess brushes her teeth so well. There is nothing remarkable about it. Not at all. It is admirable that you can brush them all by yourself. Wonderful. And so thoroughly, her face went hot. The whole party applauded in unison. Splendid, Princess. I truly hate this. Something is badly wrong. I am not actually a child. My betrothed is trying to raise me when I am the elder of us two. Carden announced, Ah, Princess, they say we are nearly at the castle. So soon? Yes. The royal mage Ma-an enchanted the horses for speed. No wonder they say the Archduke reached the capital faster than expected. He must have come to the palace the same way. Then Carden turned solemn. Princess, before we reach the castle, there is something I must tell you. It is important. Something that could greatly affect your life from here on. Annette's mind was crowded. At the palace, I was fortunate that everyone took to me. But how will the people of the Archduchy be? When I arrive, I shall have to learn everything again, from court etiquette to the virtues expected of me. Step by step, I shall learn what it means to be mistress of a house. I commanded a knight order for 10 years, but managing a household and overseeing a family are another matter entirely. Still, I shall do my best. If I can prove my ability, they will stop seeing me as a child. He noticed her silence. What are you thinking about? Princess, before we reach the Archduchy, there is something I must tell you. It is important, and it could greatly affect your life in the castle. Annette looked up, her face turning serious. Something important? Finances? Household affairs? Whatever it is, I shall do it perfectly. She straightened her back. Yes, I am ready. Please tell me. Carden drew a long breath. Then he came to the point. I believe we must decide how many sweets the princess may eat each day. Annette went blank. I beg your pardon? He sighed again. Though I did bring biscuits because you like them, I had forgotten the report that at the palace you ate so many sweets you could not finish your proper meals. Who reported that? I am not a true child like Crown Prince Mikhail. I can control myself. He raised 2 fingers like a verdict. 2 per day. Precisely 2 desserts a day, Annette protested. That is unreasonable. If I cannot taste that sweetness, that softness, that airiness. 2 a day would not even wet my throat. Please comply. This is to correct your eating habits. I shall instruct the castle cook to prepare balanced meals, so do not be too disappointed. I am a grown woman, eating well will not make me any taller. Carden looked at her, his eyes softening. She will be the death of me. How can anyone be this endearing? Unlike before, when she smothered every feeling, she now expresses herself honestly. He took her hand. Princess, besides sweets, there are surely other things that will suit your taste. Let us find them together. Annette relented. Then 2 extra slices of cake a day, counted separately from dessert. Carden was 3 parts defeated and 7 parts indulgent. Very well. If the princess wants it that badly, I shall allow it. Annette scolded herself. Other people worry about losing their pay, and here I am. If you eat properly from now on, I shall raise your dessert allowance again. Her head came up. Truly? Indeed, of course. We have entered the Archduchy. Please prepare to disembark. She smiled thinly. Almost there. How exciting. Carden caught the stiffness in her face. Princess, are you nervous? Pardon? Do you fear the people of the Archduchy will not welcome you? Oh, it is not that. It is only... Carden cut in, firmly. That will absolutely not happen. They will be more curious about you than I am, and they will certainly grow fond of you. The carriage entered a broad estate. At its center stood a magnificent castle. Servants were lined up in 2 long rows before the gate. Carden stepped down, and the greeting rose in unison. His Grace and Her Grace have arrived. He offered his hand. Princess, please mind your step. Annette took it and stepped down, her chest still tight. The steward at the head of the line bowed. Welcome, my lord. I am Hubert, chief steward of the Archduchy. It is an honor to serve you, Princess. She smiled gently. I am glad to meet you all. I am Annette Harwood. I know you must be surprised to meet me in this form, but I hope you will guide me kindly. Every servant bowed at once. Annette was taken aback. The welcome I can feel from them. I am truly being welcomed. Carden leaned close, laughter in his eyes. I told you so, did I not? So this is the Archduchy of Heisen, home. The place where I shall live from now on. But somewhere a pair of eyes was following her. Hostility or goodwill? Which is it? On the other side, Hubert had already drawn Carden aside. Yes, this way, my lord, I shall report the details. Another servant bowed. Greetings, Princess. I am Hilda, chief lady's maid. I hope for your guidance. She answered with a smile. And I hope for yours. Then Annette found the source of that gaze. Who is that? Why do I feel watched? Hilda whispered to Hubert. We chose the right girl, did we not? He answered softly. Let us hope so. Even so, Hilda carried out her duty. Larissa, come here. The girl flew forward. Greetings, my lady, I am Larissa. Hubert explained. This child will attend the princess. Hilda added, Since the princess brought no maid of her own, we selected one in advance. Annette smiled. Oh, I see. Thank you. I hope you will help me. She had not finished before Larissa burst out. Yes, my lady. Ah, no, princess. It is such an honor to meet you. I shall serve with all my heart. Whatever you need, only say. Are you hungry? Are you cold? Would you like a bath? Annette blinked through the small storm that had just passed. It is a pleasure to meet you. Carden came back to enjoy the scene. Ah, I remember. You are the one who won the position. Yes, my lord. I took first place in every round, from folding blankets to adjusting the humidity of a room, assisting at the bath, paper folding, and painting, and in the end I was chosen as the princess's personal maid. Ah, no, my lady. Ah, no, princess. He sighed, as noisy as ever. Listen, everyone, from now on call her my lady. I am tired of these tangled titles. The servants answered together. Yes, your grace. Annette hesitated. But we are not yet wed. Carden blinked. Is that a problem? We shall be soon enough. That is true. But it is rather blunt. Annette looked at the innocent smile behind that mask and had no words. Why, you... The arrogant archduke led about by the nose again. Carden tilted his head. What is it, princess? You do not look well. She reached for an excuse. It is nothing, only a cold gust of wind. Our princess must not catch a chill. Let us go inside. Annette turned away. One day I shall have to ask him seriously about all this nonsense. Inside the splendid house, Larissa led the way. My lady, this way, please. The stairs are steep, so do take care. Yes, thank you. Annette watched her brisk step. Larissa looked so bright. Catching the look, Larissa turned around. Is something wrong, my lady? Is there something on my face? She started. Oh no, it is nothing like that. Larissa spiraled. It cannot be. I rose before dawn because you were arriving. I washed thoroughly, braided my hair carefully, and put on these new clothes. Is something amiss? Or have I served you poorly? Goodness, I practiced the form so many times and still I make mistakes. Annette hurried to reassure her. No, you look lovely. Larissa was still uneasy. Or is my lady disappointed that I am only showing the house and not taking you to the master? She smiled awkwardly. That is not it at all. Only then did Larissa settle. But you have been stealing glances toward the study where the master works. Annette flushed. Was it that obvious? She fell quiet for a long moment. Carden appeared out of nowhere. Princess, let me show you the castle. Inside this castle, where you will live from now on. But the pleasure did not last long. Your Highness. Hubert carried an armful of documents. The papers awaiting your approval have piled up, my lord. And what of the earlier report? A band of brigands posing as beast hunters has appeared near the estate. I believe we should send knights to investigate in person. Carden sighed, irritated. Quiet, all of you. From now on, I shall. Annette tugged at his sleeve. Please go, my lord. The work has piled up. He hesitated, unwilling to leave. But it is all right. I shall have Larissa show me the castle. The retainers bowed deeply, grateful for her understanding. Thank you, my lady. I shall borrow the master a moment. Carden's face went black as a pot. Unhand me. Annette watched him go, keeping her composure while inside she was near tears. I try to hide it, and it shows on my face anyway. She corrected herself quickly. No, I would like Larissa to show me. Larissa beamed. Truly? Thank you, my lady. Then please follow the left corridor. I have felt it since we arrived. This castle truly is magnificent. They say in Aachen this house is second in wealth only to the crown. The reputation is well earned. There are a great many rooms along this hall. Ah, yes, the bedchambers of the Archduke and Archduchess are at the end of the 4th floor. Now I shall take you to the room you will occupy from today. Yes, let us go. But why so many rooms? They passed the room Carden had secretly prepared for their future children. Larissa stopped before a door. This is the room my lady will use for now. I hope you like it. Come and see. She pushed the door open gently. Classical tones and pale rose petals came into view. Annette stepped in and stopped in the middle of a room that was at once soft and stately. Every object in it seemed to glimmer. She noticed a small flower bowl finely carved. Are these flowers real? They are not artificial, my lady. All the flowers and plants are real, preserved by magic. Do you like it? Her cheeks warmed. I do. Of course I do. Larissa exhaled. Wonderful. In truth, all of the decoration is my work. From the concept to the dolls, the cushions, every small ornament. I chose it all. Winning the contest for the princess's personal maid gave me this chance. You cannot imagine how hard I worked for this moment. Annette was still exploring. That corner is lovely too. Larissa remembered her duty. My lady, would you like to dine first or bathe first? She wavered. I think it would be better to wait for the Archduke and dine together. So please prepare the bath first. My lady? How was the bath? Very good. Larissa moved on at once. Supper is ready. Allow me to take you to the dining hall. In the dining hall, Larissa bent over the plate. Allow me to cut the meat for you. The master said he would eat something simple in his study. Annette was curious. How does he usually take his meals? Larissa laid out the dishes. Sometimes he eats in the dining hall. But when he is busy, as today, he eats in the study. I see. Perhaps he is simply too busy today to bother. It is surely not that he does not want to eat with me. I do not care about the Archduke. This marriage is only for the alliance. Larissa gestured. You may begin, my lady. Yes, thank you. While I am here, I shall learn what sort of man the Archduke truly is. Much remains unclear, but one thing I am certain of. The bloodthirsty butcher, the Archduke driven mad by beast blood. It is nothing but gossip. The knights and servants of this house are not afraid of him. They respect a man who is strong and absolutely loyal. And all of them are perfectly at ease with the mask as though it were nothing. Whereas at the palace, the moment anyone mentioned the Archduke's meals or his mask, they hesitated and looked away. Have I missed something? Could the ruined face be an invention as well? Impossible. It is simply that the Archduke is a good man. Catching Larissa's questioning look, she shook her head. Ah, it is nothing. She remembered Larissa braiding her hair and talking. I owe His Highness a debt I could not repay in a lifetime. The master saved my life. A benefactor. She sat very still. Just as he saved Larissa. Could I save him? Steam filled the bathing room with a soft haze. Larissa knelt by the tub. My lady, is the water warm enough? Yes, it is warm, Larissa. If my name is too long and awkward, my lady may simply call me Lara, or whatever is easiest. Annette shook her head. No, I cannot change your name as I please. Your parents surely gave it to you as something precious. Larissa answered evenly. My parents were not people who thought me precious, my lady. My father went from one gambling house to the next until the debts buried him. In the end, he meant to sell me into slavery. That was more than 5 years ago. The one who saved me as I was about to be sold was the master. Annette turned. 5 years ago is when the war with Bender broke out? Yes, that is right. The war began not long after I was rescued. I have heard that in earlier days, abduction and human trafficking were a grave problem in Aiken. Emperor Tuxius tried to end it, but matters only worsened when it emerged that Bender itself stood behind the trade. The two nations went to war. After 2 years of fierce fighting, Aiken won. The slave trade was abolished. It is considered Emperor Tuxius's greatest achievement, and Archduke Carden, who fought in that war, was hailed as a hero. So Larissa was one of the victims. Not only me, my lady. When my mother was near death, she too was saved by the mercy of the Archduke's family. I believe every servant in this house owes him a debt. That is why I swore to serve him until the end of my days. The master is my savior. Annette repeated it softly. Savior. Could he save me? Larissa bustled in again. My lady, I thought you must be hungry, so I brought a few dishes. Please help yourself. When did you bring all this? Thank you. Larissa, did you know the Archduke before? She blinked. Pardon, my lady, what did you say? Annette backtracked. It is nothing. Larissa, would you like to eat with me? Oh, no, my lady, I can eat later. Please enjoy your meal. She picked up her fork. Very well. But her mind was still on the bath. The Archduke once returned from the Bender front covered in beast blood. Was he in despair then? Was he in pain? Larissa must have known him before. All the things I do not know, behind that mask. His past. She must also know the years when he was famous for his handsome face. Is Larissa loyal only out of gratitude, or has something gentler grown in her? He truly is a good man, strangely so, if many women feel the same for him. I once said I would not mind if the Archduke took a concubine. I have lost my mind. How could I say something so appalling? Thank goodness it never came to pass. And what if the Archduke truly took a concubine and had children besides? At the thought, her hand closed hard, and the whole table shook. Every dish on it went over. Larissa cried out, My lady! If anything has displeased you, please do not hesitate to say so. She waved both hands at once. No, it is nothing like that. The food is simply so good. Forgive me. Even walking down the corridor, Annette could not let it go. If Larissa truly felt something for the Archduke, she would not care for me so kindly. I could die of shame. Larissa was far more careful now. My lady, you must be very tired. Let me prepare your bed so you may rest comfortably. She managed a smile. Very well. It seems my body truly has become a child's. Bathed, fed, a little sleepy, but I can still manage. Annette walked in silence, her heart heavy. Larissa saw her face and worried. I wonder if something is wrong. She has been frowning all this time. My lady, if you do not mind. May I bring you a cup of hot chocolate before bed? Hot chocolate? Yes, with marshmallows floating on top, Annette murmured. With marshmallows? Well, then only 1 cup. Larissa spun around. Yes, I shall prepare it at once. A voice cut in. Absolutely not. Carden stood with his arms folded, unimpressed. The princess made me a promise. Annette exclaimed, Archduke. Princess, have you forgotten the promise you made the other day? She only stared. Why are you here? Have you finished your work? He sighed at being asked about work the moment they met. I came to see you. It seems you are about to sleep. I have not finished, no. But more importantly, Princess, I hear you have just eaten. How many desserts did you have? She squirmed. What is he doing? In front of Larissa, no less. Then she answered, I have had none, which is why I thought I needed a little sugar. Not this, my lord. As I said, I am not truly a child. Carden nodded. I know that perfectly well. But child or adult, no one should eat sweets before bed. Now then, shall we go and brush our teeth? She glared. Do not follow me. He wheedled at her elbow. Come now, princess. Let me see your room a little. No, the sweetness of the pair made Larissa laugh. She felt quietly relieved. I'm glad my lady seems better. The Kingdom of Harwood. A man held a scroll, his hands shaking with rage. The courtiers murmured among themselves. Is that the letter from the Empire of Aiken? It seems Aiken is displeased with the seed of the beasts as well. Could it be a demand to send Princess Bridget instead? Or perhaps it is a threat. The man on the dais struck the table. Silence. Euston was still shaking, cursing. Damn it all. That wretch Annette has caused trouble again. Larissa followed Annette. My lady, a cup of hot chocolate before bed will warm you and help you sleep better. Annette mimicked Carden's voice. That is enough. Sweets before bed are bad for the health. He was still walking quietly behind them. Larissa chose her words carefully. Then let me add scented roses to your bath, my lady. The fragrance will help you relax. Of course, I do not mean that His Grace has upset you or anything of the sort. Not at all. Absolutely not. The air went oddly quiet. The way back to the room seemed to stretch. The two of them walked one behind the other, and neither said a word. At last, Annette spoke first. How long do you intend to follow me? Carden kept smiling. I intend to help the princess brush her teeth. She grew annoyed. Did the Archduke have cavities as a child? Certainly not. I have always taken excellent care of myself. Annette turned and walked on. I am quite capable of taking care of myself as well, so please go back to your work. At that he could only sigh. Then Annette stopped short. No, wait a moment. If I send them both away, Larissa and the Archduke will leave together, will they not? Her voice went soft and sweet. Actually, on reflection, Larissa, would you help me? The girl could not have been happier. Yes, my lady. Only then did Carden sense trouble. Princess? Larissa turned back, curtsied to him, then turned to her again. My lady, let me draw your bath. Carden stood there, wounded. Why her and not me? Stepping out of the bath, she stopped. You are still here? Carden sighed. I intended to stay until I saw you asleep. I also wanted to comb your hair and wash your face, so I might look at that lovely face a little longer. Larissa came out with a towel. My lady, let me dry your hair. Very well. Carden's gaze cut across the room. Larissa felt that distinctly unfriendly look and began to sweat. She reached for an excuse. My lady, if you do not mind, I shall take my leave. Annette was puzzled. Oh, is that so? Thank you for all your work today, Larissa. He stood up. So she is not entirely without sense. Annette caught part of it. Pardon? Carden changed the subject. Nothing at all. Now you should get into bed. She eyed him. You are not planning to sing me to sleep, I hope. He walked her to the bed. Certainly not. I came because there is something I wish to tell you. Something to tell me? But I shall tell you tomorrow. It is late, and the princess looks sleepy. He ruffled her hair gently. Sleep well, princess. Annette went quiet at the kindness of it. She called after him before he reached the door. And you as well, my lord. Sleep well, and I hope you finish your work soon. The words were barely out before she dove under the blanket, mortified. Behind the mask, he smiled and left. Annette clutched her burning face. A moment ago, I was sleepy. Now I shall not sleep a wink tonight. The Kingdom of Harwood. It appears the delegation we sent to Aachen some days ago was attacked by beasts. The courtiers went rigid. What? You mean they are all dead? I am told only Princess Annette reached the palace. She was gravely wounded, so the wedding could not proceed. And the others who traveled with her? A courtier slammed the table. Those wretches are the real problem. I hear that the moment the beasts appeared, they abandoned the princess and fled. And not one of them returned, including Marquis Randall. Euston cooled. They may have left Annette behind, but they surely died on the road home. Cowards. Aiken demands that we punish every man who failed his duty, and if they are no longer living, that we punish their families instead. The courtiers erupted. That is outrageous, even for Aiken. Indeed, was this not simply an accident? Baron the Baron spoke calmly. And that is only Aiken's account. How do we know the whole party fled, and did not fight to the last breath to protect Annette? Euston covered his face, then decided. Enough. Arrest every relative of the delegation's leader at once, and Rubelino as well. Aachen has ordered the sword sent to them. Bring it here. That useless girl. If only she had died with the rest of them. I am king of a small realm. but one with a history as old as Akin's, and she has forced me to bow to this humiliation. Baron kept his head. Your Majesty, do not be too angry. Perhaps this is only the Empire expressing its displeasure indirectly. Consider it. Does your Majesty truly believe Akin is glad to receive Princess Annette? But neither can they afford to lose the alliance with Harwood. Akin still intends to hold the wedding as planned. Euston remembered. Which reminds me they sent the betrothal gifts as well. Baron nodded. Your Majesty, what you saw is only a portion. The rest has already gone into the royal treasury. Euston's eyes lit up. He brightened at once. Indeed, a wedding between Akin and Harwood is a great occasion. Escort the Queen and the Princess to the treasury, and let them choose whatever they like. The courtiers chorused their praise. The Queen and the Princess will be overjoyed. They will surely be moved by your Majesty's generosity. Euston smiled slyly. To think that was only a portion. That treasure is worth more than a year's revenue from beast materials. Then he remembered something else. Speaking of which, the subjugation force. How long has it been since the Royal Knights set out? Elsewhere, a man was shouting, What in the world are you saying? Watch your mouth! Do not speak so crudely, mind your words. Our commander would never abandon us to go to the Empire of Akin. Back in the Harwood Hall. How long has it been since the Royal Knights left on the subjugation? The courtiers floundered. When exactly did they depart? Then they began inventing reasons. Perhaps the number of beasts rose unexpectedly and made the work harder. Or Commander Mulat, newly appointed, is too eager to distinguish himself. It is also possible they pressed deeper than planned to clear the region thoroughly. One fed the other. Ah, yes, quite so. But Euston was clear-headed enough to know it was not so simple. He threw the headache to someone else. What do you make of this, Marquis Mulat? Marquis Mulat, father of John Mulat. He nodded vaguely. Well, I could not say. Euston rested his chin on his hand and watched him. His own son commands the order, and he is as indifferent as if it concerned strangers. What sort of father is that cold? At the temple, the mood was no calmer. A voice demanded, What did you just say? In the Empire of Akin, whom have they chosen as Archduchess? John gave the order coldly. Calm yourself and speak. Who? Who has entered the alliance marriage? The priest named her. It is your former commander. She has married Archduke Hazen of the Empire of Akin. They say she left Harwood some time ago. Before he finished, a young knight had seized the priest's collar. Nonsense. Shut your mouth. He shouted louder. Is that how a priest speaks? Do you truly believe such rubbish? John stepped in. Enough. The young man let go and fought to steady his breathing. Brayman clapped his shoulder. He is right. Calm down. Then he turned. Father, please do not be provoked either. He knows nothing of this. John's voice went flat. Pull yourselves together and finish the purification quickly. Yes, sir. The young knight was still biting his lip, swallowing everything he wanted to say. On the road back, someone's voice broke. Vice Commander, the commander. It is all my fault. She was wounded because of me. John turned. That has not been confirmed. We shall learn the truth when we return to the palace. Brayman ruffled the young man's hair. The vice commander is right. It will be all right. Certainly. The commander would never abandon us and leave. The vice commander and I followed her for 10 years. She would never go without a word. So stop grieving. John heard it all and his chest stayed heavy. Is that so? Are you certain? She never wavered, not once. Not facing beasts that eat men. Not when the king humiliated her in front of the knights. Perhaps she had simply gone numb to pain, having known nothing but injury since childhood. Perhaps she never had a real bond with anyone. Even among the knights, she could not manage ordinary conversation. And the knights, though they stood behind her, never showed it plainly, so she may never have known how they felt. In other words, she was never truly tied to this order. Which means, leaving may even have come as a relief to her. At the thought, he drove his fist into the temple wall. Then John gave the order, cold. We ride for the palace immediately. The knights obeyed at once. Yes, at once. I shall see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears. Whether she is still in Harwood. Carden's house stood as splendid as ever. Annette woke and rubbed her eyes. Larissa stood by the bed. My lady, you are awake. What? Ah, I am up. What time is it? Nearly time for lunch, my lady, Annette started. Lunch already? Is it that late? She covered her face. It feels like the first time in my life I have slept so deeply. Asleep with no dreams at all. Her hand brushed the blanket Carden had pulled up. Was it because I felt safe? Larissa asked gently. My lady, are you not hungry? She came back to herself. Ah, yes, I am rather hungry. The girl rolled up her sleeves. Then wash first. I shall bring breakfast. Ah, no, lunch. Annette set down her spoon. That was excellent. Every plate on the table was bare. Larissa glowed. Since my lady skipped breakfast, I prepared a proper lunch. I am glad it suited you. She dabbed her mouth. Did I really eat all of it? How embarrassing. But it truly was good. There are so many wonderful things in this world. If I ate well like this every meal, perhaps I would crave sweets less. Clearing the plates, Larissa spoke up. Ah, my lady. The master asked me to inquire, once you had eaten, whether you might meet him in the drawing room. Annette looked up, which reminds me. I have something to tell him as well, she murmured. The thing he wants to tell me. Larissa saw her hesitate. Is now inconvenient? Shall I carry a message? She shook her head. No, I shall go to the drawing room at once. A little later, in the drawing room, Annette's hands closed tight on her skirt. What did you say? Carden looked at her, his eyes gentle. Princess, do not be too startled. I want to show you the true face beneath this mask. Her eyes went wide. Why, your true face? Hours earlier. Samuel's voice stopped him mid-stride. Are you truly that nervous? He whipped his head around but admitted it anyway. Of course. What if she is angry? If you were her, would you not be? Samuel pursed his lips. Well, I could not say. So he dressed like this only to avoid a scolding. The door opened. Carden spun around. Ah, Princess, you are here. And then his gaze locked. Annette stood there in a full skirt, slightly shy. It slipped out of him. You look truly beautiful today. Her cheeks flushed. Do I? Carden circled her, praising without pause. How is it possible for you to grow lovelier by the day? And your hair today as well. He turned. Was it you who did the princess's hair? Samuel sighed inwardly. He is doing it deliberately. There is no chance he has forgotten the name of the princess's personal maid. Larissa beamed. It is Larissa, my lord. Yes, I did. Then teach me that style as well. But Carden's face suddenly darkened. Bold of you. Even I have never been permitted to touch the princess's hair. Larissa could have wept. My lord, I believe 2 of your lines have been swapped. Annette tugged his sleeve. Stop teasing Larissa. He changed expression at once and turned plaintive. The princess is cruel. I want to touch your hair too. She panicked at the tears. I beg your pardon? Fortunately, Samuel cleared his throat and stepped in. My lord, I have prepared some cakes made by the chef himself. Carden dropped the act and smiled. Princess, shall we sit over there and talk? Larissa, Samuel, wait here. The 2 of them answered wearily. Understood. A moment later, Annette stared at what stood before her. Good heavens, this is. On the table sat an enormous 3-tiered chocolate cake studded with strawberries. Carden gestured her forward. This is the cake I had made especially for you, Princess. For this moment, eat as much as you like. Annette flushed and lifted her fork, unable to look away from it. It looks wonderful. I shall enjoy this. But the instant she moved, he took the fork from her hand. That is not right. Pardon? He cut a piece himself and offered it to her gently. Now open wide. Annette froze, staring straight at him with round eyes. At last she gave in and leaned forward for the bite. Carden's eyes crinkled. Seeing you eat well is enough for me. By the way, Princess, what do you like about that maid? Annette covered her mouth as she chewed. Larissa? She is like a younger sister, sweet and full of life. Carden's heart bloomed. The loveliest person in the world calls someone else lovely. And that maid's face is perfectly ordinary, nothing remarkable about it. Does she truly find all that babbling endearing? A while later, Annette remembered. So what was it you wished to tell me? Carden faltered. Perhaps after we finished eating, she was firm. No, please tell me now. Did he give me cake to delay something? Carden only looked at her a long moment. Then he set down the fork. Princess, do not be alarmed and hear me out. He bent to study her face. Are you very surprised? She nodded. A little. But I want to see. In truth, I have been curious since the betrothal. Please show me. So the Archduke also trusted me and leaned on me when he accepted this marriage. I thought he would ignore me or look down on me. Instead, I have been given more care than I deserve. Whether a man that kind has the most frightening or most hideous face in the world hardly matters. Annette lowered her eyes. In truth, if he had not lost his old beauty, perhaps I would never have had the chance to meet a man this good. Is it selfish to think that way? Do not panic. Steady, steady. Carden had already raised his hand. Then I shall remove the mask. Annette's gaze went still. The face behind the mask was almost unreal in its beauty, and it carried a trace of embarrassment, not quite meeting her eyes. He gathered his courage. Well, how do I look? Her cheeks burned, and she could not pull her eyes away. At last it slipped out, it is shining. The words were barely spoken when a memory surfaced. Mikhail, scarlet-faced, had shot to his feet. What are you saying? Audrey's hair is beautiful too, more beautiful in fact. Beside him, Audrey was laughing helplessly. That is only because you are looking at me through rose-colored glasses, Your Highness. Annette understood all at once. She groaned softly. What do I do now, my lord? Carden startled. What is the matter, princess? Her face had gone red as a boiled prawn. She could not look at him, only stammer. I think I am fond of you. She covered her face, miserable. I wish it were only rose-colored glasses. It cannot be. You are far too handsome, my lord. Carden stopped short, then spoke slowly. So the princess thinks me handsome? She still could not look, but she was honest. Yes, not only handsome. You are shining. The moment it left her mouth, she screamed inside, What am I saying? Then she scrambled. No, what I meant was... Carden cut in evenly. If you truly are fond of me, I would rather it were only your excessive optimism. But if the princess likes this face, then I am glad. Do you remember at the palace I said that when we reached the archduchy there was something I wished to confess? Annette steadied. Yes, but why bring it up now? Do not tell me. He confirmed it plainly. Indeed. The rumor that my face was ruined by beast blood is a fabrication. Archduke Hazen, the man maddened by blood who lost his beauty and became grotesque. All of it is false. The truth was that Carden himself had spread those rumors deliberately. Both the imperial house and everyone in the castle knew. It was a heavy shock. But more than that. I want to die of shame, looking at that perfectly ordinary face and saying I was wearing rose-colored glasses, saying he was shining. I want the ground to swallow me. Seeing her head drop, Carden whimpered like an abandoned puppy. Are you angry with me? Annette looked up quickly. No, it is not that. I am only thinking. He let it go and simply lowered his eyes to her. Then he spoke carefully. By the way, princess. She looked up. Yes, he met her eyes. Are you not curious why I did it? Annette hesitated. I am curious. But they say that after the war, Archduke Hazen's face was destroyed by beast blood, do they not? They say his handsome face became something horrifying. And now he is to marry the seed of the beasts from Harwood. Marrying a seed of the beasts. Rather fitting for him, is it not? Her chest ached. If he had not carried such foul rumors, I would never have crossed his path at all. Unless... He spread those rumors because of me? No, stop imagining things. I do not want to be humiliated by another misunderstanding. Seeing her shake her head, Carden grew worried. Princess, are you all right? Annette collected herself and looked at him. Yes, quite. I was only curious. Why did you spread those rumors and wear the mask? Carden faltered and looked away. That is... And then the wide room filled with the quiet sound of his story. The next day, out in a garden full of sunlight, Annette admired a bed of flowers. The flowers are beautiful, Larissa. Look, a butterfly. The girl smiled. This garden is tended very carefully by our gardeners. It is the pride of the Archduke's castle. Would you like to speak with her, my lady? May I? She went with Larissa toward the gardeners. On the second floor, a man was watching her quietly through a window. Samuel's voice came. You look very pleased, my lord. Carden turned. Naturally. The princess is lovely. She may enjoy my garden as much as she likes. Samuel smiled faintly. I am glad to see the master's face without the mask as well. Carden lifted his chin. Do not get used to it. I belong to someone else now. Samuel gave up. Please do not say such things. People will misunderstand. This has gone on a very long time, though I know she never gave me a thought. When our eyes met by chance, back when I used to linger near her. Carden flushed when Annette's eyes met his. She smiled radiantly and held up the flowers in her hand. My lord, look at these. My heart is beating so hard I cannot govern it. And then a memory of her from the past rose up. Back then he wore a different face and watched her from a distance. Annette frowned faintly and turned toward him. Carden went scarlet and fumbled the words. "Ah, Commander Annette." Just then, John stepped in. "Commander." She turned at once. "John, what is it? I have a report to make." Back in the present, Carden smiled to himself. "I was hiding my identity then, so I had to keep my distance. It still angers me to think of it." Down in the garden, Larissa called. "My lady, the tea is ready. Shall we go in?" Annette was still watching the window. Is he embarrassed? On the second floor, he thought of a name with pure jealousy, John Mulat. While every other knight only looked from afar, that man came close to the princess simply because he was vice commander. He clung to her insufferably. Of course, everything is different now. Even so, it still rankles. Samuel read that frozen expression instantly. He is imagining killing someone again. Still smiling, he changed the subject. "Ma'an came by earlier, my lord." He relayed a message from the emperor. Tuxius appeared in the mirror, his voice grave. "It will not be easy to find whoever is in contact with Bender." Carden sat at his desk. The princess was attacked, so there is certainly an intermediary between Bender and Harwood. Tuxius nodded. "Given the situation, your guess is correct. The trouble is that there is no way to obtain solid proof. If we could find the traitor inside the palace, it would be simple enough." A traitor in Harwood. Before the princess showed her ability, Harwood was a small and unremarkable country. In the history of the continent, it was passed over even in wars of conquest. It never occurred to me that Bender would plant a spy there. Samuel spoke up. "Well, my lord, why did you give Ma'an the book on the imperial power? That volume is a rare work from the Crown sealed library." "It cannot be. What I am thinking cannot be right." Carden understood him perfectly but turned away regardless. "Do not make more of it than there is, Samuel. For now, investigate whether anyone in the Harwood court has ties to Bender. Spy or informant, they laid hands on our princess, so I shall certainly make them pay." Samuel exhaled. "Everything you say is terrifying, my lord." He raised an eyebrow. "Samuel, is that how one speaks to one's master?" He backpedaled. "But you are far better than when you wore the mask. Back then you were so frightening I lost half my life every time you spoke." Carden smirked. "Then perhaps you should simply die if your vitality is that feeble." Samuel grinned and kept flattering. "Never. What I mean is that your face is genuinely your most precious asset. You are the handsomest man alive, my lord. Of course, now our lovely lady is far more deserving of the title." Carden, cheerful a moment before, darkened. "Drop the word lovely." Samuel trembled and wailed. "Every time you see her, you talk without stopping. I cannot get a word in." Carden conceded readily. "Yes. Only I am permitted to speak." Samuel laughed weakly, then grew curious. "And what of the thing you were worried about? Was my lady angry after seeing your true face?" Carden brightened, his tone edging toward boastful. "No, she said she was not angry. She said there must have been a reason." Samuel caught the shadow that crossed his eyes. "Well, that is a relief. So you told her everything, did you not? That you wore the mask and spread rumors for years only so you could marry her?" He denied it flatly. "No. Are you mad? I told her I did it for the sake of the crown." Samuel gaped. "What? What has any of that to do with the crown?" He recalled the reason he had given. "Everywhere there are men who plot treason, so I would not hand them the smallest opening. And I wanted my brother to see I had no designs on the throne. That is what I said." Samuel pictured Annette's guileless face. "And my lady believed it?" "Of course. She is no citizen of Aiken, though it was not entirely a lie. Do you remember how the nobles with daughters swarmed me after the war, eyes full of calculation? I wanted out of those tiresome proposals, so I told her some truth as well." Samuel still did not follow. "But why lie about it at all?" Carden raised his eyes, cold. "Do you truly need to ask?" He propped his hands before him. "Am I supposed to say that for the princess I threw my honor into the mud and heaped shame on myself? I did it all for you, so you must love me in return." Samuel began to sweat. "But, well..." He cut in again. "Samuel, I do not regard what I did as sacrifice. Not in the least. It was a selfish and arbitrary choice. It considered neither the princess nor my own family. The first time she heard it, she might be surprised or a little moved. The princess's world has always been arid, wretchedly so. But once she realized I had always thought of her that way, perhaps she would be glad." And then, as time passed, would she remain grateful forever? If one day the princess began to care for me, she would certainly feel guilty. And if in the end she never cared for me at all, my feelings would only become a burden. That is not what I want. My shadow exists only so that she may shine. The room fell silent. After a while, Samuel nodded. I understand what you are saying, my lord, but you are strangely careful about the strangest things. Cardan leaned back, which is why everyone finds the princess lovely. Only that? Because you observe with a sharp eye. We do not show it, but it is true. It cannot be helped. She is no different from a child, and it is her first time in the Archduchy. Cardan sulked openly. Why did I not notice it? How irritating. Samuel laughed inwardly. The whole castle knows how often he is jealous of Larissa, but who would dare show it in front of him? He watches Larissa's every movement like a demon. Get away from my princess. Do you want to die? Cardan turned and said quietly, In Harwood I felt relieved. So many fools failed to see the princess's appeal. Samuel remembered. Ah yes, I have news from our informant in Harwood. Some days ago, a royal envoy delivered the wedding gifts and the emperor's letter, and the royal knights have come near the capital. Cardan's voice dropped. What were the results of the Harwood knights' subjugation? They only saw a cart piled with beast carcasses from a distance, but it seems your prediction was correct. That cart was carrying some very suspicious things. Cardan smiled. Then it is only a matter of time before the king of Harwood sees the truth. I want that fool to realize it, however late. But I want to know exactly how late. Keep watching them. I have prepared safeguards, but there is no telling what they will try to reclaim the princess. Samuel bowed. Yes, my lord. Do not worry. His fingers tapped the desk. Now that the Harwood knights have returned, they must know the princess is here. I wonder how they will react. Above all, the one who lacks the courage to face his own feelings and keeps his eyes shut. Samuel probed. But my lord, is this all right? What is? From a knight's perspective, their master vanished overnight. If you disappeared like that, I would go looking for you at once. Cardan snorted. If Harwood's men come, perhaps we should simply eliminate them quietly so no one knows. Samuel yelped. That is a joke. Doing that would start a war. And my lady would be sad. The words were barely out when Annette's quiet face rose in his mind. It was a night when he still wore the mask and had brought her a dessert. Her eyes then had been deep and full of a strange emptiness. And Cardan had stood there in silence, watching her from behind. Back in the present, he rose from his desk. Whether it is the knights or the king of Harwood, all I need do is make certain the princess never once thinks of leaving me. Samuel stiffened. You mean? Cardan's instruction was cold and certain. Samuel, grant the princess everything she wants. Do not let her feel any anxiety. Only make her happy. She is the person I have searched for over decades, and I have only just reached her. I will not let her leave foolishly, as she did before. But she still gets only one dessert a day. Samuel laughed. Yes, yes. Back to the moment Cardan confessed the matter of the mask. My reason for wearing it was partly to reinforce the crown's authority for my brother, but mostly it was to avoid nuisance. Annette blinked. Nuisance? Cardan smiled. Indeed. After the war, proposals came from every direction, but I had no wish to be forced into a marriage. Attention from people I do not care for is genuinely tiresome and means nothing to me. She nodded. Ah, yes, that is reasonable enough. Yet the words nagged at her. It is a perfectly good reason. I understand it. So why do I feel sad? I am not someone deserving of anyone's great attention or affection. Quite the opposite. I am not a beloved princess like Bridget. And even in the order I fought so hard to enter, I was never properly acknowledged. Above all, I was born having killed my own mother, and my father cast me out. The seed of a beast. Looking back, I really am wretched. A man so brilliant, wearing a mask for the sake of someone like me. What a ridiculous fantasy. Then why did you show me your face? Annette murmured. And I thought I knew better than this. Just then Larissa came in carrying flowers. A gift from the master, my lady. Flowers. The master saw you receive flowers from the gardener earlier and thought you must like them, so he made this bouquet himself. Annette held it to her chest, flushing. For me? Yes, indeed, my lady. Then Larissa picked up the gardener's bouquet and turned away. My lady, this one is for the gardener's safety. Allow me to dispose of it. Earlier, Carden had flown into a rage. I am the only one who gives flowers to the princess. Burn the gardener's bouquet. Only Samuel weeping at his feet had saved it. Annette looked at the bright flowers in her hands. Then her eyes fell. The Archduke truly is a kind and remarkable man. Naturally, a man like that is well loved among the nobility. And that face of his is dangerous enough that no one can promise there will be no trouble at future gatherings. She pictured Carden surrounded by a crowd, and her chest tightened. Annette looked up and changed the subject. By the way, Larissa, how long have you served in this house? 5 years now, my lady. And in that time, has any woman ever come and stayed in the castle? Larissa thought. A woman? Never. Larissa smiled. Everyone knows the master is famous for his looks. But as you know, my lady, he is famous for his temperament as well. At the same moment in the study, Samuel spoke. By the way, my lord, does my lady know? You behave entirely differently around her, even that cold stare of yours. Carden laughed. That stare has never once been turned on the princess, and even if it were, she would not notice. So all of you must do your part, understood? So that the princess never discovers who I truly am. Keep your mouths shut. Larissa, above all, she is at the princess's side constantly. She is the weak point. Samuel, remind her later not to let anything slip about me. Little did he know that at that very moment Larissa was laying his history bare. A perfectionist who pursues nothing but flawlessness. A cold-blooded man with no pity. A notorious critic whose words cut deeper than a sword. Who in the empire does not know him? The story of nobles fleeing the hall over one of his remarks at the banquet after the fencing tournament is still famous. Ah, and there was this. At a noble's birthday, the girl being celebrated was so taken with him that his arrival caused an uproar. The more Annette heard, the stranger it felt. Wait a moment. Is that truly the Archduke? Elsewhere, in a lavish study, John closed his eyes and smiled faintly. Has the commander truly gone? He remembered the stunned faces of the knights and the endless murmuring. It cannot be. I hear she even stopped at the treasury before leaving. She told them to use the money she had saved to repair the training hall. Has the commander truly left without a word? Are we really going to let her go like this, Vice Commander? Where did it go wrong? I thought 10 years at her side would be enough. I thought being beside her was enough. Perhaps I trusted too easily in her saying she was fine. Perhaps I never truly faced the pain she was carrying. Had I not been that way, I would never have let her be forced into that political marriage. Someone pushed the door open. Sir Mulet. His Majesty is waiting. Eustace sat on the throne, chin in hand, looking down at John on his knees. Beside him, Bridget was flushed, her eyes never leaving him. He spoke formally. Royal Knight John Mulet, presenting himself to your Majesty. Eustace smiled thinly. It has been some time since the campaign began. I was beginning to fear you would not return. This was your first command since taking the post. It must have been difficult. John's brow tightened. Yes. Eustace caught the expression and considered it a moment. John recovered quickly. Because of severe difficulties in the campaign, it took twice the usual time. Moreover, given the scale of our casualties, I judged continuing pointless and ordered the withdrawal. The details are in the report. Please review it. He took it, mildly surprised. A report? Was it necessary to bring it here yourself? You need only follow procedure and submit it. John raised his eyes. I believed your Majesty needed to see it immediately. But your Majesty, this audience is for the Knight's campaign report. May I ask why the princess is present? Bridget cut in eagerly. I heard at breakfast that you had requested an audience, Sir Mulet. So I insisted on coming. You are not displeased that I am here, are you? John was silent a few seconds before answering flatly. If His Majesty has permitted it, I have no objection. Bridget noticed nothing of his discomfort. By the way, Sir Knight, is this necklace not lovely? It was a betrothal gift from the Empire of Aachen. John went still. A gift for Princess Annette? That is right. You have heard, have you not? That she is to marry Archduke Hazen. They say he is one of the wealthiest men on the continent. I am truly relieved she will live comfortably. Her mouth said one thing while her eyes said another. Though I doubt the Archduke will even look at her. Who would want a child of the beasts who cannot even dress herself? Then she resumed her air of innocence. You think it is for the best as well, do you not? You served her for a long time. Inwardly, she added, though I hated watching it. John's fist closed. But before he could speak, Euston had finished the report. Is everything written here the truth? He answered low. Yes, not one word of it is false. Euston roared. Do you call that an explanation? Twice the time of the last campaign, and only 20% of the materials recovered. What am I to make of so bizarre a failure? John stayed calm. This was not sudden, and the point of the report is that from now on, our yield will remain at this level. Furthermore, the grade of beast we can handle will fall sharply. Frankly, we can no longer manage the high grades at all. Bridget glanced anxiously at the shaking king. What if we cannot kill them? What if we take materials from lesser beasts? Before she finished, he slammed his hand on the throne. Everyone knows the higher the grade, the more valuable the materials. And if the beasts we cannot kill come down into the villages, the crown bears the whole responsibility. 10 years ago, the border villages were overrun when the beasts came down. Public feeling ran so high that even the crown was shaken. Wait, 10 years ago. That is exactly when Annette said she wished to join the order. Euston's pupils shrank. John remained on his knees below, looking steadily up at him. Meanwhile, at the Archduke's estate, the mood was entirely at ease. The servants stood eating their master's sugary words. Princess, I have cooled it, so it will not burn you. Now open wide. Good, is it not? Watching you eat well makes me happy. How can the princess be lovely even while eating? Annette stared at him, remembering Larissa's words. A perfectionist who pursues only flawlessness. A cold-blooded man without tears. Is this genuinely the same person? The day before, Larissa had said, but watching how differently the master behaves with my lady, I realized something. All this time he kept his distance from everyone, only because of you. At the thought, Annette's eyes met Cardan's. He asked quickly, Have you finished eating, princess? She turned her head away. No. I promised the Empress I would help the princess gain weight before we meet again. Since it is morning, this much is enough. Cardan's fingers brushed a loose strand of her hair. Annette jumped. Seeing her react so sharply, he smiled awkwardly. I lost a precious chance to tie the princess's hair today. Next time you must let me, agreed? Larissa says he treats me as someone special, but only he knows what he truly feels. Whether for the alliance or out of pity for the girl called a child of the beasts, or simply because it is strange that a princess knows nothing of the world, he has never once wavered. In her mind, she saw every expression he had ever worn when looking at her, and the way he said the word princess. And what about me? She thought of herself as a small child in Sarah's arms. Nurse, what is love? Sarah held her and asked gently. What did you say, princess? Annette twisted her fingers together. The ladies outside say so, that Bridget is a princess who is loved. But I am cursed, and Bridget receives the thing they call love. What is love? Does it hurt? Sarah's chest ached at the sight of her. You have made me sad, princess. You are receiving love as well. Annette looked up. I am? Sarah pulled her in tight. Come here, and I shall tell you how much I love you. Annette squeaked under the squeeze. I cannot breathe. Is this love? How strange. Sarah stroked her hair. You will understand soon enough. When you find yourself wondering where that person is. What they are doing today. Just as she was now asking Cardan, my lord, are you not eating? Sarah's words still echoed. When you hope they are not hurt. And she had worried for him. Your Highness, why say such terrible things? Everything Annette had ever felt for Cardan matched what Sarah had described. When you want to treasure them above anyone else, that is love. Her face went scarlet. So that is it. I never realized I had fallen in love with the Archduke. Annette went quiet at how late the realization had come. I understand now. Long before I ever noticed. Cardan looked over. Is something wrong, princess? Annette laughed. No, nothing at all. It was only that she reached out her small hand toward him. Annette smiled brightly. It is only that right now I feel very happy. The smile undid him completely. What, wait. Cardan walked her out of the dining hall. Thank you for the meal. He rubbed the back of his neck. There is no need. Are you going to the library, princess? No, today I have an etiquette lesson with Madame Hilda, so I shall go there first. His eyes lowered to her. Ah, etiquette. Annette could not read the look in them, and she understood even less when Cardan began glancing restlessly about the hall. Inside, he was tangled up. Earlier, when the princess smiled, she looked beautiful. A smile I have never seen, and yet a smile I know intimately. The one I wear whenever I look at her. A smile that escapes when feeling rises past holding. How could I fail to recognize it? One look and I know. Could she feel the same as I do? Then why is my heart so uneasy? What if I ask and I have guessed wrong? What if she is disappointed? What if she has mistaken her own feelings? What if she sees my jealousy and stops caring for me? I have held back so much. I am afraid. A voice pulled him back. Your Highness, Carden startled. Ah, yes, Princess. Annette looked concerned. What are you thinking about so deeply? He avoided her eyes. It is nothing. I have simply been tired lately. Why has he been so strange all this time? Did I smile like someone deranged? Still, she smiled and changed the subject. Then I shall see you at lunch. Madame Hilda is waiting. Carden still could not look at her directly. Yes, I shall come and collect you later. Annette studied him and felt a flicker of recognition. That expression. I have seen it somewhere before. The figure of a hooded man rose in her mind. Annette said suddenly, Ah, do the Archduke's lands hold regular beast hunts every few weeks? Carden stiffened, breaking into a sweat. Beast hunts? Well, the knights are divided into 4 companies, and there are 3 small hunts each week. And once a month, the whole order goes deep into the swamp for a major clearing. Annette rubbed her chin. Then the castle must hold a great many purification stones. Carden lowered his eyes. Indeed, but why do you ask? She only smiled. It is nothing, I was simply curious. Then I shall see you shortly, Your Highness. He did not press, yes until later. A while later, at a table stacked with books, Hilda spoke. From basic greetings to table manners, noble rhetoric, and the language of the fan. You have completed every form required. You have done very well, my lady. Annette brightened. It is all thanks to you, madam. Thank you for your patience. I have had no trouble at all. I am certain no one else could have finished in 2 weeks as you did. Someone is out there. Ma'an pushed the door open and drifted in like a ghost. It is I, my lady, Annette started. Ma'an, must you appear out of nowhere like that? He ambled closer. Ah, the Archduke has kept me shut in a room to do nothing but research, and I realized I forgot to ask you something very important. Something important? Ma'an smiled without a trace of vitality. Yes. Do you recall when your body changed? Not precisely. Only tell me whether you felt anything unusual at the time. She remembered. Ah, yes. After I killed the beasts and was on the road back to the palace. I felt my heart grow hot and my blood rush strangely. While fighting, I felt nothing. But by the time I reached the palace, they told me I had become a child. So it must have been then. Ma'an smiled mysteriously. There it is. My hypothesis is correct. Both Annette and Hilda shivered. Ma'an clenched his fists and shouted like a mad wizard. My lady, I believe the antidote is nearly complete. Please wait. I, the genius Ma'an, shall prove my theory. I take my leave. He had barely turned when she called after him. Ah, wait. There is something I wish to ask you. A short while later, Ma'an stammered. Do you mean magic that alters a face? Annette sat perfectly still. Yes. It need not truly change the face. I want to know whether there is magic that makes others see you as a different person. Certainly there is. Illusion or transfiguration. She cut him off with a smile. It is nothing. I was only curious. Thank you, Ma'an. He gave a strained laugh and retreated to the door like a shadow. I take my leave. Hilda's mouth twitched. That man is always in a frenzy. My lady, I have something to give you. Annette looked up. Yes? Hilda handed her a thick sheaf of papers. This is the report I compiled on the division of duties within the Archduchy. It contains the roster, each person's responsibilities, the current state of operations, and the draft budget for every department. Annette took it, astonished. I never expected to receive something like this before the wedding. Then she stammered. May I truly look at it? Hilda smiled softly. Of course. The master said it would be better for you to see it before formally taking up your duties, so he asked me to prepare it for you. At the mention of Carden, her cheeks warmed again. The Archduke. What does he truly intend, showing me matters like this and treating me as mistress of the house from the very beginning? And that sense of familiarity I have felt all day. His words came back to her. I am more suspicious than you realize, Princess. And Mikhail's words as well. My uncle speaks of you constantly. He says he respects you more than anyone in the world. Is this familiarity connected to those words? If I have met the Archduke before, he must have altered his face with magic. Then where on earth did we meet? Larissa poked her head in like a thief. My lady, I have come. Annette looked up. Larissa, where have you been? The girl crept in. The master is not here, is he? My lady, you must be tired after today's etiquette lesson, so I asked the head cook to make a great deal of chocolate for you. Annette's eyes lit up at the pile in her hands. Truly? But should I eat so much? Then she stopped short, her eyes going wide. And it was the moment I saw the chocolate Larissa brought that I remembered where I had seen him. That worn pouch of purification stones. The mercenary with the sagging shoulders. The man who somehow owned an absurd quantity of rare stones. Carden, in disguise, had spoken haltingly. Here, take these, Commander, I think. You will need them. The forest was silent without a sound. Then a murmur rose. Do you mean we are short of purification stones? John was tense. Yes. The damage from yesterday's ambush by that high-grade beast was worse than expected. A great many of our men have been touched by its blood. Annette asked, How many stones remain? He answered honestly, Fewer than a tenth of what we need. Will you go to the temple now? She stiffened. We had few stones even at the outset. We need the temple. But the campaign is still underway, and it is hard to leave now. Just then someone called. Vice Commander, a moment. John turned. What is it? Annette was at a loss. What am I to do? And in the middle of her confusion, Carden came up behind her. Yorgor, no, Commander. She turned back, all question marks. He bowed his head awkward. I only wanted to thank you for the other day. The fight with the beast. She thought privately. He looks wretched. Carden's eyes widened. I did not expect you to remember me. I very nearly died under that beast's claws. Thank you for saving me. Annette kept assessing him. He is tall. He looks fit enough. But I have no idea where he keeps his wits. He has been standing there vacantly this whole time. Then she asked, Are you a mercenary? Carden hesitated. Yes, I am a mercenary. Annette turned away. The campaign will continue. Take care of yourself. Before she could go, Carden called out, Wait. Please take this. Looking at the glittering stones in his hand, Annette was taken aback. These are. They are purification stones. Why give them to me? Because you saved my life. I want to give them to my benefactor. These must be expensive for a mercenary, and so many of them. He is that afraid of me, and still he insists on repaying it. That is right. I remember he always flinched and looked away whenever he happened to touch me. Could that man be the Archduke? Carden faltered. Purification stones? Why do you ask? Annette looked straight at him. It would be better if you told me the truth. Then she changed her tone. It is nothing. In any case, this chocolate is delicious. Larissa lit up. You like it? I am so pleased. The head cook was going on about. The next day, Hilda came in. My lady, I intend to select your personal attendants soon. Personal attendants? Yes. The master says that the moment you recover, the date of the imperial wedding will be fixed. Since the timing may be tight, I think we should choose in advance who will accompany you to the capital. Annette answered evenly. Larissa is enough. The girl nearly shook with emotion. My lady. But Hilda refused coldly. Larissa is an excellent maid, certainly, but you are to become the only archduchess in this empire. You cannot have a single servant. I have prepared a list of candidates from the vassal houses. Knowing she could not refuse, Annette ventured. Madam, is there anyone on the list who is bold and strong? Hilda blinked. Bold and strong? She laughed. With the rumors about me, I would feel guilty if someone were frightened serving at my side. Hilda considered. If you want strength, there is Lady Isabella, eldest daughter of a count. Larissa broke in. Oh, I know her. She founded the Master's Admiration Society. Hilda sighed. The full name is the Society for Admiring from a Safe Distance. Lady Isabella is famous as an extreme devotee of beauty. So although she runs the Archduke's Admiration Society, you need not worry about romantic intentions. It is purely a circle for praising his beauty from afar. Annette slowly understood. So that is why it is from a distance. What a way to name a thing. Larissa spoke up. But it would be difficult for Isabella to be your attendant, my lady. Why is that? Isabella is the former sweetheart of Samuel, the Archduke's aide. Elsewhere, Samuel propped his chin on his hand. You see, Your Highness, I told you, that is not how one courts anyone. With a face like that, how is your love life so dismal? Cardan's voice dropped. Samuel, you seem awfully invested in other people's romances. Am I not the Archduke's irreplaceable expert in matters of the heart? He laughed. But from what I hear, you are in no position to advise me on love. Samuel blinked. What do you mean? Cardan exposed him. The princess's maid told me all about my aide's illustrious dating history. She said your advice is completely useless, so I should never follow it. He blurted out. Completely useless? Larissa said that? Yes. That admiring society of yours, you were a member as well, were you not? A man whose romances survive only on gossip about other people's faces. Do you not find it excessive to lecture me on love? Samuel had once appraised the height of the Archduke's nose, and Isabella had answered that His Highness's brows were drawing together. Samuel rushed to bury the memory. I merely happened to share an interest with Lady Isabella. Why drag up old matters? Cardan raised an eyebrow. A shared interest. And you parted over it as well, did you not? He leaned in, insistent. That was a difference of perspective. Our Archduke is always flawless, but Isabella, Cardan snapped. Enough. Samuel pressed on. For the record, I was the one who ended it. Cardan was puzzled. Beast hunts? Why is she thinking of that again? Is she still worried about the Royal Knights of Harwood? Then he suggested, perhaps we should try selling purification stones to Harwood. Samuel blinked. Harwood? The reports from there say the situation is abnormal. Cardan said, only now do they speak of it? They must be unwilling to admit it. Consider who has kept them comfortable all this while. They keep hunting for evidence to deny reality, which is only burying their heads in the sand. Someone from Harwood will come soon to take the princess back. Perhaps those tiresome royal knights will come themselves. The kingdom of Harwood, the great council chamber. The courtiers would not stop talking. This is absurd. All over Annette, a mere girl. After questioning each knight, it seems the princess was in fact an excellent commander. Extraordinary stamina and recovery, and the finest combat skill on the continent. Euston ground his teeth. What is this? The report Annette submitted contains not a single word about how capable she was. That wretch does not know how to claim credit for herself. That is how it has come to this. They mocked him quietly. Absurd. How many times has he heard the rumor that the princess is the strongest swordsman on the continent? And every time he let it go in one ear and pretended he had never heard it. A voice announced from outside. Your Majesty, the Baron has arrived, he said coldly. Send him in. Baron entered. Your Majesty, please look at this. This is the report filed before Princess Annette joined the order. It appears the former commander, Gramis, deliberately concealed the princess's ability. He shot upright. What? Furthermore, Gramis's reports became markedly shorter after the princess joined. Her absence from every record of merit appears to have been entirely Gramis's arrangement. Euston's grip on the report tightened. He hissed, that madman Gramis, dead and still ruining me. Gramis, the former commander of the knights. He had once been the late queen's escort. And the king knew perfectly well that he carried feelings for her. That jealous and foolish king. He had wanted the man beheaded on the spot, but he could not easily discard the strongest man in Harwood. In the end, the king appointed Gramis commander of the knights to separate him from the queen. But by the time they met again, the queen was dead. Gramis stood over her cold body, unmoving. He remembered that day. Sir Gramis, have you truly become commander of the knights? He had answered quietly, yes. Forgive me that I cannot serve at your side to the end. The queen only smiled. It is all right. Your ability is far too great to stop at escort. Use that strength to protect Harwood from the beasts. Hearing that, Gramis thought the transfer was not so terrible after all. She added, if you remain commander of the knights, Harwood will grow stronger still. The road ahead will be hard, but please do not give up. Gramis's fist closed and he asked the nearest man, where is His Majesty? The man stammered, His Majesty is. At that moment, Euston was in the arms of a serving woman. The door burst open. He shouted, startled. Insolence. Who permitted you? Gramis's voice went low. Her Majesty's funeral has not even ended, and yet you are here. Euston instinctively shielded the woman and turned it back on him. Grimace, have you finally lost your mind? Where do you imagine you are, bursting in like this? As commander of the knights, you will conduct yourself properly. Bow your head to me and think of nothing but the safety of the realm. Every trace of light had gone from Grimace's face. He said flatly, I came to inform you that I am departing for the Beast Swamp. The reason Grimace endured it all was the Queen's words. If you remain commander of the knights, Harwood will grow stronger. Your Majesty, in spite of everything you feared, Harwood has perhaps already set its feet on the road to ruin. He turned and walked away, ignoring Euston entirely. Even so, I shall keep the peace of this kingdom and fulfill my duty. He left in silence, one thought remaining. What a waste. After that, Grimace slaughtered beasts like a madman, one after another, until his whole body was so soaked in their blood that no one could tell where the man ended and the beast began. And then he met the girl. Grimace looked at the child before him and went still. This is... Euston said it plainly. The seed of the beast that devoured the late queen. Yet it claims it wishes to join the subjugation. Grimace's face did not change. Is that why you summoned me? Euston nodded. Yes. Take it away. Inwardly, he only wanted it gone. Here, the girl who killed the woman you loved. Take her to the subjugation and throw her to the beasts where no one will see. Annette followed behind him. Princess Annette, how old are you? She hesitated. I am 14. Grimace lifted a sword. Have you ever held a blade? No, never. Without a word, he threw a sword down in front of her. Pick that up. When she hesitated, he repeated it. Pick that up. Annette took it warily. I do not even know how to hold it. Before she could say more, Grimace was on her. And at the point where the two blades met, something changed. It caught Grimace off guard. He withdrew his arm and a great force flung Annette backward. She skidded but found her footing quickly. Then she froze. Staring at the empty space in front of her, she blinked. Has he vanished? Before she could think, a blade was at her throat, and Grimace's voice came cold. Princess, you have just died. If you go to the field, the beasts will not be as gentle as I have been. Your arms and legs will be severed and your head will fly. It will hurt so badly you will wish for death. And no one will protect you there? Annette stood straight. I am told you were once my mother's escort. Even if you hate me, I will join the order. She gripped the hilt. I am not afraid of dying on the subjugation, because for me, that is how I stay alive. Grimace was silent a long while. Annette pressed her lips together and did not take back a word. Seeing that resolve in her eyes, Grimace decided. Call me commander. I shall train you. From this day, I will not treat you as a princess, but as a member of this order. Prepare yourself. Annette stammered. Thank you. Thank you very much. Grimace asked himself. Will I hate her? Yes. I hate her enough to lose my mind. The one who killed her and was born of it. Had this child never existed, she could have lived. But this is exactly what she wanted, because you are the child she risked her life to protect. Natural strength, astonishing recovery, and a terrifying speed of learning. Watching Annette rise to vice commander in so short a time, Grimace knew at once that she was a prodigy. In one training bout, Annette put her opponent down with a single stroke. Grimace watched in silence. The princess is truly exceptional. But at this rate she will become nothing but the king's instrument of slaughter, killing beasts until she dies. His hand tightened, like a slave. Nearby, the other knights could not help talking. She really is remarkable, is she not? They say she is a seed of the beasts, but her strength is the greatest in the empire. Perhaps I should ask her to teach me swordsmanship someday. Grimace cut across them, cold. Silence. Whatever she does, she is possessed by the beasts. She is a cursed thing, born by devouring the late queen. Do not forget that praising her stains the honor of this order. Yes, sir. He said those words because he had planned it long before. Princess, hide your true strength and live among ordinary people, so that if one day you decide to leave this place, you may go freely, bound by nothing. Back in the present, Euston had gone white-haired with rage. That cursed Grimace. 90% of the order's strength came from Annette's skill, and he hid it until now? Esther laid a hand on his shoulder. Your Majesty, are you very tired? Forgive me for disturbing your rest. I heard you were still in the council chamber long after the session ended, and I grew worried. Euston came back to himself. Empress, you may not know it, but politics is a complicated thing. She smiled thinly while thinking, what nonsense. The king does not even know who fills his treasury. The only reason this small kingdom has prospered is its monopoly on the trade in beast materials. And if the quality and quantity of those materials no longer hold, the future is perfectly obvious. Esther probed gently. Your Majesty, may I ask what conclusion today's session reached? Euston rubbed his forehead. The Empress need not know. She persisted. Even so, as Queen of Harwood, I believe it is something I have a right to know. Is it still difficult to change the bride even now? Euston was cornered. To break a betrothal already made, we would have to pay a penalty of 100 times the dowry received. The figure startled her. 100 times? Then the Imperial House of Aiken handled this far too hastily. But Euston had recovered his composure. Do not worry, it is not entirely without remedy. Annette. Surely that thing would not stand and watch its homeland fall to ruin. How would a piece of refuse like that dare refuse me? Our story continues with a great deal more ahead. Do not forget to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. I shall see you in the next video.